country of yours try to if you're a closet racist or something, you might want to refrain, at least today. Okay. So, what is this campaign about? Currently in the world that me and my friends have all made, this continent is currently under the rule of the yuan-ti. The yuan-ti are the snake men. They're basically this race of, originally they were humans who sacrificed their humanity to dark snake gods in order to gain greater power. Now they are these emotionless killing machines, essentially, that have taken over the continent. And you are all, every player in all of the campaigns is playing a member of the resistance. If not actively part of the resistance, you're at least a person who doesn't like the current state of things. Now, the resistance is made up of many different types of people, good and bad alike. The evil people want to be part of the resistance because they don't want the yuan-ti in charge, or they don't like working with you in charge. The good people are obviously trying to liberate their own countries or whatever else is their plan. Today's game takes place in the rebel headquarters, essentially, the very center of the resistance, known as the Bay of Rapiers. The Bay of Rapiers is an island. Let's see if I have a pic for you.
Rapier.
The Bay of Rapiers is a secret island pirate cove, essentially. Last August 5, we had a small convention, D&D convention. A bunch of my friends and I just got together. We played one massive game where we tried to determine the nature of the resistance. And they chose to set up their base in a pirate cove. So they allied, essentially, with a whole bunch of a pirate alliance, pirates that got together and said to each other, the yuan-ti are bad for business, and as long as the yuan-ti are in power, they're going to try to squash all of us. So I think it's in our best interests to get together and try to fight them. And so the rebels, the players, reached out to them, got them to agree, and now have set up their base there at the Bay of Rapiers. So let me just pull up a peg for us. Pass this around. That is what the Bay of Rapiers looks like. It's out in the middle of nowhere in the ocean. It's a beautiful place, tropical island, unmapped, and largely taken over by pirates, at least certain parts of it. And you find yourself there currently. The Bay of Rapiers is much as you would imagine Tortuga. Have you watched Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah.
Bridges 3? Where they go to Tortuga?
I get them all mixed up. I'm not sure.
Anyway, the Bay of Rapiers, the specific settlement that they've made is basically constructed from the shipwrecks of 100 different ships. It's a city made from shipwrecks. Okay. It occupies a large cove, basically almost a bay. There's a bay that has all of the ships constructed haphazardly, put together, in order to create sort of a functioning environment for them. A small port city, essentially constructed from shipwrecks. It is pretty nasty. I mean, the island is beautiful, but the place is damp. It's ugly. It's dirty. The pirates, as you would imagine, don't think too much about hygiene necessarily, and city planning, or any of those very important things that we take for granted in big city. Yeah. Essentially, you guys as rebels are squatting at the moment, here with them, trying to sort of settle in for your place in things. We're gonna go around the table, primarily because your particular group has taken on a mission. You've chosen a mission from the war room. The war room in the Bay of Rapiers is essentially, I don't know if you've played other games with guild postings, basically mission posting boards, basically. in the war room are various missions that the resistance needs accomplished in order to attempt to win the war. And you have taken on one. This one in particular is called Shoot the Messenger. Intelligence has revealed that there are spies among those living in the Bay of Rapiers. Information is leaking. And it's very important that these leaks be plugged. Otherwise, the resistance can do nothing before the yuan-ti pick up on it and halt. This is particularly important for you, Grail, primarily because you are currently sort of undercover up in Razmeran.
Yep.
You have ingratiated yourself to an influential figure of Razmeran, which is allied with the yuan-ti. If your cover gets blown, you could be in very deep shape when you go back to Razmeran. So your personal investment here is you've got to stop the leaks before you get found out, specifically. Your group has been sort of casing the place, walking the streets, interviewing people, walking up and down the various docks and establishments, trying to narrow down where the leaks are coming from. And the lead has taken you to Shipwreck Sherwin's.
Spell that?
Shipwrecked, meaning the past tense of shipwreck, and Sherwin, and then apostrophe S because it is Sherwin's place. Shipwreck Sherwin's.
That's cute.
Should we go?
He was sent. It's like a place. Like what is that? Like a residential.
Shipwreck Sherwin's is a tavern/inn.
Oh, okay.
As you would imagine, taverns/inns are one of the most popular, most financially profitable places in Bay of Rapiers, other than gambling dens and brothels. But the reason that you need so many is that you have so many crews that are coming in and out that don't want to have permanent residence, but just want sort of like a place to meet up. Their version of like their local hangout, the local bar that they go to or visit. And different crews associate themselves with different taverns/inns. There are currently 1, 2, 3, 4. There are currently 4 crews that associate themselves with Shipwreck Sherwin's.
Cruise?
Crews of ships. The Reds, the Iron Hulls, the Grumnock, and OK, and Sea Tusk. So you figured out that the leak of information, you've at least narrowed it down to this area. Now, you're absolutely free to do what you wish to do in order to stop the halting of leaks, including, if you so desire, genocide. But obviously there are only 5 of you, and the crews are going to be more. So you've got to sort of be careful about who you piss off, and who you win over, and who you decide to accuse. Yeah, because when it comes down to it, they're packing more manpower than you are. So if straight fight breaks out, you got to be smart, especially with 13 AC. The Shipwreck Sherwin is owned by Sherwin Wendell. Shipwreck Sherwin's is so named because the ship that it's constructed from is Sherwin's ship. He shipwrecked off of the Bay of Great Years, was captured and brought in. His cargo at the time was alcohol, IPAs you might imagine, because IPA. Is it true that IPAs were made to last the voyage?
That's what they say,
Not true?
but now there's differentiating things about that.
Okay, so
Like
it's not.
it's kind of.
So he was he was shipping.
Ale.
So the pirates were basically just going to take it from him, but he sort of smooth talked his way into selling it to them instead. And then he set up shop. It became a thing. He just stayed on, and so Shipwreck Sherwin's became a local pub essentially. It is co-owned by his wife. Emmy Wendell.
What's her name?
Emmy.
Emmy. Okay.
And a staff of about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 to 10 people just coming in and out. Staff people? Yeah. He has barmen and barmaids, and chefs, cleaners. Because it's type/in, you need somebody that does the housekeeping, that fixes the rooms up, carpentry, cleaning, cooking, drinks, serving the drinks, brewing, etc. So far, I will say that that's about it. I guess I can give you perhaps the names of the captains of each crew.
Okay.
4 groups, yes.
Alright.
Captain of the Sea Tusk is Dubok. He is identifiable by his lack of one eye and lack of one leg. He is also the largest, he's also, you hear tell, the largest freaking orc on this side of the pier.
Oh,
The leader of the Grumnok is a person who goes by the name of Puratu. I don't know how you write rolled R's, but that's Puratu. Puratu, you hear, is going to be very difficult to communicate with because he does not speak common. The leader of the Iron Hull is Nardok. Nardok. He is one of the sharpest captains in the Bay of Great Years. He's strict, efficient. People rail on him because he's sort of uptight, stick up the ass sort of guy. People, you might have heard mentioned that he might be more suited to the Navy than pirate life. And he considers himself more of a privateer. And the leader of the Reds is Cornelia the Red. Characterized by sort of a dragon tattoo that comes up her neck, up onto her chin, and she's missing an eye. I guess that's about the maximum of information that you would get outside of just entering this. So let us say that you nailed down this tavern about a week ago, and that you could have made any sort of preparations that you desired before coming here. So let us do sort of an Ocean's 11 cut of strips of, as your scene comes up, your strip of the screen basically, to show what you're doing at that time. So let's go around and introduce yourself what you look like and what you're doing to prepare for this venture. If you're not doing anything to prepare for this venture, then you can say something silly, like maybe you're just drinking the nights away, or maybe you haven't left the brothel in ages, or etc. So let's start with more experienced players so that we don't shock the newbies. With Grail.
Grail.
Human Ranger.
She's a human ranger. The name Grail is a holy grail. I just thought it was catchy. She's a female human gunslinger. So her main weapons in combat are two pistols. She's very adept. Secondary weapons are throwing knives and a little bit of fist fight, but she would prefer to stay away from melee.
Her tertiary weapon is a puppy on her.
Oh yeah, she also has a pet. She has a pet companion, a wolf cub named Shade. It's a wolf shade, but yeah, it's called Shade. Shade is a cub, still a cub, still not to be used in combat.
Wolf pup or wolf pup or an actual dog?
She's a wolf.
Okay.
Yeah. So Shade is a breed of wolf. She's a she, but she's still too young to be in combat. But she has accompanied Grail for most of the time of her travels ever since. So when in combat, Grail would tie a bandana or a piece of cloth around her head, and that's where she would secure the cup
Shade.
on her head, so that she doesn't lose her. Because they prefer to be attached in combat, so that she could also train and show the wolf cup what it's like to be combat. Sort of an exposure for the wolf cup.
You're training Shade eventually to help you out in combat.
Trying to raise Shade to a formidable fighting wolf. But as of the moment, Shade is still too young. So as a means of exposure and to get her experience, she puts the cub on her head, makes the cub just splash on her head when she's fighting. And then the cub would be biting her hat. And while Grail is spinning around and shooting here and there and killing people, the cub struggles to keep balance. So sometimes the cub would end up all the way in reverse, the tail is wagging her face. So there, it's pretty comical to look at this point, but hopefully Grail is gonna be adept enough to survive. So she will be
One question. What pushed you out of your homeland to start adventuring?
Yeah, Grail growing up was a very rebellious girl. She just was a misunderstood teenager. So she lived in a very remote town, like Western gunslinger, deserted town, and she just wanted more out of life.
So just essentially just a drive to try and discover the world and adventure.
She wanted to discover more of the world, and the people from her hometown didn't really appreciate that because they're very secluded in a way, or they're very close-minded, that they didn't really welcome outlandish ideas. Grail wanted to get out there and explore and be an adventurer and get a sense of the world.
What is Grail doing right now in preparation for this?
She has ventured into the Bay of Great Tears as part of her previous mission from the distant city of Raspberry. And she is also part of this attaché in charge of retrieving information, because it's part personal that she wants to embark on an adventure. So this is out of her personal undertaking that she wants to explore the world. So whatever trouble she gets into, she welcomes with a daring approach.
And what are you doing specifically to prepare for this tavern?
Just really keeping a low profile and not really causing or attracting too much attention, because
Okay, all right.
you inform me that I'm supposed to be undercover.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm currently being very discreet and just keeping to myself most of the time, although that's really not a that's really not real true character. She's loud, boisterous. She tends to curse a lot, and she would normally cuss for no reason. But now she's just trying to keep her cool and
Okay. Okay.
so there.
Let's go to Harper Mayfair.
Oh, okay. Sure. Um, if you have decided to be in Shipwreck Sherwin's, you will notice quite a young child, maybe in her early 20s. What are they? Are they mostly like? Well, you see that her features are rather more Middle Eastern or Indian. We'll show you her flag.
Almost Mediterranean.
Mediterranean.
Right.
She you see that she's quite young, although the way that her gait or her walk, her stride, it's quite finesse, but also quite also like hesitant or wary of people, and people will say that she's the girl who, for some odd reason, sells mushrooms to Sherwin and Emmy, whenever she sells these mushrooms, it's her way to be able to afford one of the, not really one of the room, the more like just the low end rooms in the inn, and
What kind of mushrooms is she selling?
well, that's the odd part. These mushrooms.
Is Mordok into these mushrooms? I think Mordok is into these mushrooms.
That's the odd part about the mushrooms. Any of the sailors who have been to other exotic lands have never seen these types of mushrooms for some reason.
Oh, they are completely outside of anyone's experience.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What are they used for? Or at least what does Sherwin use them for?
To prepare for meals.
Oh,
because for some
'cause
reason they can be used for as ingredients for any meals, but you can actually eat them as they are,
Okay.
and you can be actually full.
Okay.
Eating
Okay.
them.
Okay.
But she tells Harper makes sure to tell Sherwin and Emmy that it's only good for about 24 hours before they will
Okay, I get it.
expire.
So you sell him like a limited
Yeah.
limited supply mushrooms that
Yeah.
have this almost magical quality
Yeah.
of instantly filling you up.
Yeah. Probably the sailors know, the pirates know about them because they're pretty handy. Because once you eat one mushroom, you're pretty full for a day.
So they make for excellent rations.
Yeah, for some reason.
So you've been selling this to
Yeah.
how long have you been selling this? For like the past 7 days?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So in the past 7 days you managed to ingratiate yourself.
Yeah, it's also kind of weird though, because it's type of a peddler or merchant kind of a job for a girl who's wearing the type of clothes that she's wearing are with black glove lace with cut on the tips so that she could still feel things, and she has
Your gloves
these.
also.
Open finger gloves.
Yeah, the open finger gloves.
You also is Grail also wearing that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but hers is like lace,
Okay.
though. And then she has this rose tinted shades, and that kind of dulls the glimmer in her eyes. And you notice that her eyes are quite odd, almost inhuman. What else? The quality of her clothes are actually top notch, but you've noticed that they seem to be overused or kind of tattered on the sides already. So that's Harper.
Okay, excellent. You're playing a druid.
Druid.
Let's go to Compass Rose.
Suppose Compass Rose would stand out. It is 7 feet tall, unnecessarily wearing a red cloak with the hood up, with with the legs are sort of almost rounded and kind of big, proportionally speaking, and she no not she he it or Compass Rose is a bit might be unique in this area as she's from another continent, from the clockwork kingdom of Canet, sent with her people to search for new territories or new areas to be occupied, as at the time they were at war for a century with their rival kingdom, and thus Compass Rose was assigned to be one of the pathfinders to sort of look for a backup place for the population to move in case their kingdom would be annihilated by the rival nation. Do you have? I don't have the peg. Do you have a?
Keep going.
Let me.
No, keep going. I'll do it first.
I'm not sure how if people here would have heard of what she is, but she is basically she is like a 7 foot tall,
Cool.
made of a combination of metal and wood. Made of metal and wood.
Like a steampunk cybernetic
Yeah.
Indeed.
giant. Crazy.
Basically, it would be very noticeable that there's nothing organic. Oh, there's some wood, but there's nothing. There's no flesh. There's no flesh on the body of this person.
So why is Compass Rose adventuring now rather than serving with people?
We were deployed years ago, and we were deployed years ago, but apparently this continent was also embroiled in war. Thus, it made our pathfinding mission more difficult. At one point, we all got separated from each other, and the rising difficulty in the conflicts throughout the continent sort of hampered the mission and even their communications as well with the rest of her group. Thus she's siding with the rebels since it was apparent that the yuan-ti rule was tyrannical. Compass Rose gravitated to the pockets of rebellion here and there, and is also trying to search for her group, but still trying to continue her history, the pathfinding mission, but mostly in vain since the yuan-ti have already taken over most of the landmass. So she only has one man, because the other arm is basically a small Gatling gun, and it has a lot of, and there are a lot of other smaller gadgets and doodads on one arm.
What is Compass Rose doing in these 7 days?
Since we're all quote unquote rebels here, I'm going to use my well, if everyone is more or less amazed of what kind of creature I am, then I'll use that to my advantage, and then I'll just pass myself off as a wanderer, or basically a cartographer, and which is why I have all these maps, and I have the tools, and then I'll speak to, and then as someone exotic, I'll try to mingle with the crowd and ask where they've been. I'll ask about the places they've been to, and ask about yuan-ti territories, and then from there maybe I can get something about where each of the crews have been in the past months or so.
So you've been inside,
Yeah.
going from table to table.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Let's go.
Imbibing in drinks, but not really experiencing
Let's go
anything.
to Stefan. Stefan, what do you look like?
So it kind of looks like this, but less the sword, and also the armor. It's not armor. It's like this clothes only. Because he's a noble.
Stefan.
Stefan. F.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can see he has this bloody red eyes. But if you're gonna stare at it, you can see this greeny color, like a soul. And then, so yeah, he doesn't have the sword.
Sorry, what's
Just a photo, warlock. So
Okay.
yeah, and you can see like the semi-pointed ears of him, and yeah, let's say he's 6 feet tall, and yeah, he has a fair skin, and his hair is like Jack Frost, if you know Jack Frost from
Like silver.
yeah,
Like
silver
white?
hair,
Okay.
yeah,
From Rise of the Guardians?
yeah, and then he's like 6 feet tall, already told that. Sorry, and yeah, and then yeah, he's just on the one side of the tavern, and you can see like on the table there are like pile of beers, but he's not drunk yet. He just really have high tolerance with beers. So like from the past weeks that we've been investigating the tavern, he's just there like on one side looking creepy because like he's just alone, he's lonely, drinking and also investigating.
So he's in.
Yeah,
place
it's inside the
okay.
contract. Yeah.
So have you been talking to people?
No, he's just there investigating by himself. He's alone.
How would you say he's investigating? What things
Like-
what things is he doing to
Like-
investigate?
Probably he's just like looking at people every day while he's there at that tavern.
Now we're already a group. We've already known.
Yes.
Okay.
We're establishing.
Gotcha. Cool.
Okay, let's go to. Oh wait, I gotta ask, Stefan, why have you left home?
Oh, okay. He's in search or like a journey to look for his sister
Okay.
because is he allowed to tell them?
It's completely up to you whether you would have revealed that information. But if not, you can just say you're looking for your sister.
Yeah. He's just really looking for his sister.
Okay. Let's go to Mordok.
Okay, Mordok is a average height, about 5'8", tiefling from a affluent family. He's like brick color, and he has one big horn that he hides under a hat, and he's got long hair. I'll show the new picture, but he kind of looks like this. Okay.
Oh, where's
Look-
that? Oh,
hiding them.
Okay, so he hides the horn under a big hat. He's got long flowing hair and
Have you shown us your horn?
yeah. You want to see the horn?
Have you showed us?
Yeah, I show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, do you want to? I can show you though. I have it saved. So it's. Oh, have I shown you the horn? No, I haven't shown the group
Yeah,
the horn. No.
okay,
That's
sure.
fine. So you just always wear the hat?
Yeah, just wear the hat. So he's from an affluent family. He was spoiled. He was lazy, so his family cast him off, and he had his trust money, and he's just looking for just to have a good time. And so he's found himself in the Bay of Great Ears to gamble. And he's just gambling, and he just looks out for himself, and he's running low on money, but somehow he's able to always find a place to sleep or weasel his way into something because he's very charismatic. He's always gotten by on his talking, on his gift of gab. Now, when he was casted off from his family in his journeys after a crazy night of just being out, this bright, multicolored cosmic light from the universe spoke to him, and he is now a patron of the Great One, who just spoke to him, and Mordok just has these powers, but he's not really sold on the Great One, but he is a patron of the Great One. And as he is going day by day, he sees why he's with the Great One, that they're both weird people that have been brought together. And so he's at the Bay, and he has heard of the resistance and doesn't care of ridding the world of these people, but is more looking out for the opportunities that being part of the resistance can present to him financially, and gaining loot. And so he's in the Bay. He's been gambling, but he's not in the tavern yet.
Okay.
He's not in the tavern. So I'm outside of the tavern. So Mordok is a warlock who's been imbued with this. Mordok the warlock, who has been imbued with his powers from the Great One, a cosmic multi-light god from the universe. So he's outside of the.
Mordok, if I may ask,
Yes.
is it common knowledge that you are a warlock?
Is it common knowledge that I'm a warlock?
Do people know that you've got like a magical touch?
No. People don't know. I don't think the group knows either.
Okay.
The group knows that I am outspoken and
But how do we?
boisterous.
What's your explanation for your powers? Like, what do you tell people?
Or you've never used them
I
before?
haven't used them with you.
Okay,
I haven't
cool.
used them with you. So all you see is when you talk, you just know that there's something about me because of the way that I'm speaking, the way I'm presenting myself. That you're just thinking that there's something with this guy, and you don't know what it is. So I'm not in the place yet.
Okay.
And he's sort of known around the Bay as this
Hey, where's my dude?
character.
Okay, that's right.
Team characters? Yeah.
This is great.
Sure.
Oh,
Okay. So,
Yeah. Was that a good intro?
absolutely. My vibe off of you is like almost like this lovable sleaze.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
He's a sleaze.
Well, a little bit slimy, but it's hard not to like him.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. It sounds like you are living hand to mouth, basically, but you're just sort of making your way smooth.
Yes.
How do you look? Are you impeccable?
He is dressed very. He's not dressed like the local pirates. He's dressed in his family garb, which is definitely not traditional to where they are. So he stands out.
Okay.
Purposefully stands out.
As you would imagine, people in the Bay of Rapiers are quite grimy,
Yes.
dirty, smell of sea, salt, and even just being clean makes you stand out.
Yes.
Are you clean?
I'm clean.
Okay.
Almost pristine.
Almost
Somehow he's able to manage and look good.
Okay. Excellent. Which makes you stand out that much more. So welcome to Shipwrecked Shermans.
Sherman.
Sherwins, sorry. Shipwrecked Sherwins. One of the larger tavern / inns in town. You upon casing the joint, you might have walked in, you might have seen the place. It's as you can see, it's about yay wide. Every square is 5 feet. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85. 85 feet wide. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 55, 60, 110 feet long. You come in, the setup looks much the same. This seems to be like the kitchen area, a bar that Sherwin himself tends to. He walks up and down this bar, cleaning glasses, dispensing advice, as you do. His wife walks around catering to all of the tables. I've only put down the captains of each, but you can safely assume that they're almost always full up at their table. People walking, drinking, laughing, cursing, and occasionally fighting. All over the place. There are two common areas. One right up next to the hearth, and one by the stage where often a minstrel will come and perform. Over here you have sort of like a private room. Sherwin caters to those that want more intimate settings.
At one point, I've peeked inside the room without asking for permission.
It's basically just a private drinking room. People go there to talk and they meet and they do business.
Oh, nothing
Whatever. You know,
steamy.
no, steamy would be upstairs, second floor, where the rooms are. So upstairs there's a second floor, but the center is open, as outlined by the blue dotted line. So if you're standing on the second floor, you can look down into the first. And you can see this.
Cool.
That makes sense.
Okay, cool.
You've got a little booth over here where a round of people can sit. Not many people there right now on the stage. Right now, who are the people that have been making their contacts here? That would be Compass Rose, probably annoying someone over here.
Yep. Sure. Well, sure.
Yeah. You're just like walking spot to spot, like interviewing people, talking. We do have Stefan. Who are you?
Standing on one side.
Yeah, Stefan's probably. I mean, you wanted to be really alone. So yeah, mysterious stranger sitting in the corner. And we have Harper, who is probably making a sale.
Yeah.
And then these two who have not entered the door. Okay.
So,
So you agreed. You agreed on the date. You're like, okay, on this day, I think we should enact our plan, whatever that may be.
so.
At this point, I would like to hand it over to you. I'm going to describe the place a little bit, just to give you the mood of the location. Almost everything is because you're on the ground floor. A lot of the floor is stone, but most of it is wood. All of the wood you notice is reused wood. Wood that's obviously been ripped off of a plank of some sort of a ship, laying here, nailed down, cut to size, whatever is needed, made part of this particular area. In that regard, it's shabby, but the craftsmanship that they employed in order to put this place together, quite well. It's actually sort of upper middle class in terms of the Bay of Rapiers. Of course, to a noble like you, nothing. It doesn't even meet the standard of seedy bar to you. It's that low. But in terms of Bay of Rapiers, it's actually pretty well made. It's busy at this time of day. There are about there are about 30 people in here right now, including servers bustling all over the place, waiters coming out with food every hour of the day, and they don't have plates necessarily, just sort of steel that has been hammered flat to put your food on. Maybe they've sort of hammered it into shape just to make sure that it doesn't have cutting edges or whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Soup is mostly served in bread bowls out of no choice. Largely because they don't have a choice, just scrape the bread out, pour the soup in, serve, done. That sort of thing. Ale is probably what's most plentiful here, and it seems like Sherwin brews his own. Sherwin looks quite busy. So does Emmy. Let's see. We have over here the Sea Tusk crew. Let's introduce her. Headed by the orc you now know as Dubok Armtaker.
Armtaker.
Oh.
That's not nice.
Those of you who might be familiar with orc lore know that he's an Orog. Orogs are twice as big, twice as smart as the regular orc. Orogs are intelligent enough to rival even the craftiest human technicals. So this is an orc with smarts. Over here we have Cornelia the Red. Relatively young looking for her captaincy.
Oh, okay. Dragon. Oh, with the tattoo, right?
Yeah. Girl with the dragon.
Her crew showing at this time is kind of small. She's only got 4 people with her at her table.
Where is she?
Dubok has around 4 people at his table too, but of varying shapes and sizes. 2 sort of brutish-looking dudes and a female orc, almost as large as he is, definitely as thick, and wearing furs, almost like a bear fur that's striped like a zebra. And the claws of this bear fur come all the way down to her own arms, and the claws extend outwards off the backs of her knuckles like Wolverine. She seems, though everyone at his table seems to respect him, it seems like she throws her weight around a lot. So whenever she just takes food off of the plates of the other orcs, she drinks their ale. You notice that she hasn't ordered anything for herself. She just takes, and the other orcs order. We have at Cornelia the Red's table, the one that an eye catcher perhaps to you is somebody almost as well dressed as Stefan. A human male, blonde, eye patch, but dresses kind of like a fop almost. But you can tell by the grace and finesse that he holds himself with. He's got a dangerous grace to him.
With Cornelia the Red.
That's Arnold.
Cornelia the Red, sitting next to Cornelia. We have Nardok over here. Nardok has the brick red / brick orange flesh that is the most notable feature of hobgoblins. Hobgoblins, for any of those that aren't familiar with D&D lore specifically, you can imagine as an evil Spartan race. They live lives of order. From the moment of birth, trained to fight, to pillage, to kill, to raid. They live their lives in essentially an army, and their afterlife is sort of a Valhalla. They live to fight, and their ultimate goal is to be found worthy when they die of becoming one of the soldiers of their god, and to fight eternal in their head. So they are not afraid to die. He looks like this. Dressed like a naval captain, and his men all in uniforms, men and women, men and women all in uniforms. We have. The only person that I haven't introduced yet would be Puratu.
Puratu.
Puratu is highly unusual.
Grung.
You can see that Puratu is sort of this 3-4 foot tall humanoid frog. Imagine a poison dart frog standing on its hind legs, walking and talking like a human would. Puratu in particular is orange. Grung. The largest crews in here right now will probably be Nardocs and Puratu. Both about six people in here at this moment.
6.
Yeah.
Are they all grung?
Yes, they are all grung. Puratu is bright orange, but you can see that he has blue and yellow grung as well. You have heard that color denotes something to grung society, but you're not entirely sure about it. What's most famous about the grung is the touch. It kills, as you might imagine. So people tend to keep their distance. And I think that's about it. Between the chirring of the grung speech, the raucous laughter and snorting of the orcs, and every bit of human chatter that you can imagine filling this tavern, with sort of an accordion playing in the background as sort of this minstrel just pounds away at his accordion. It seems quite lively in here. Time of day, let's say 2 p.m. Just after lunch. People are still eating, people are still coming and going, still active. Aside from these major crew members, people are just coming in and out. You can assume that pirates are just walking in, having a drink, having lunch, going back out. At this point, I'd like to open it up to you guys. What do you want to do?
Sorry, what's Nardok again? Hobgoblin?
Nardoc?
Nardoc.
Nardoc is a hobgoblin.
Well, I'm not in the tavern yet, so as the group predetermined, you knew I was going to come in separately and make sort of an entrance to get the attention of most of the captains and the patrons in there, because I'm already coming in an all-white garb and clean, and the reputation around town as someone who's sleazy and just a personality in this bay as an outsider. I want to enter and I'm envisioning the tavern doors are like the old Western saloon doors. So I go up into the door and I swing open the door with both hands, making a loud sound, and I yell at the barkeep, "A pint of your finest ale, sir."
You actually have thaumaturgy, which does open doors for you if you want to, just before you don't even touch the doors, they slam open.
Oh, okay. Let's do that. Yeah, so I don't even touch it, but it's so close that people don't notice, but I know that I'm not touching the dirty door.
Thaumaturgy also can modulate your voice. If you want, it can come out basically like a megaphone.
Oh, nice. Okay, I need to rewrite that down then. Okay, so I don't necessarily want people to know that I have
Magic.
a lot of magic. So okay, I'll go to the door and I open it without touching it because it'll make me unclean, and I have this reputation to uphold. And I am able to make my voice booming enough to go over the noise level of the crowd to get the attention of the barkeep, who we have had past run-ins with in the bay.
Okay. You've purposely run up against him
Yes,
some time ago.
some time ago. Yeah.
What sort of impression did
Which
you
guy?
As someone that he doesn't necessarily want me in his establishment, because I may not have.
You're not his crowd.
I'm not his crowd. I
Not
may
his
be mooching as like I'm right now. I'm asking for my ale on my tab.
You're
It's like I'll
growing
pay it
tab.
next week.
Okay. Excellent. So, to represent the sort of impression that you've been making,
Yes.
let's go ahead and make. I would say deception check, but I think at this deception means to lie.
Yeah.
But at this point, I think it might be a persuasion check because it's true,
Okay.
right? You're trying.
And
you're
a performance. It's like a performance.
Could be a performance. Yeah, sure. You can make your choice of performance or persuasion.
Okay.
Do you have a motive as to why you would enter the tavern in such fashion?
Well, because we talked in the guild hall earlier that one of us was already in there under guise already and was sneaking around, right? And you don't want to make a loud. You don't. I know you are trying to be hidden too, and people have scoped it out. And the one thing I have going for me is that
Your eye gotcha.
I don't. Yeah. And whatever happens to me happens. I don't care. I'm with you, and it's something we were able to use to our advantage. So it's taking the attention off of you and
Rolling the later on.
yeah.
All right. So you boom in through the tavern. Basically, the doors clank open, slamming so hard that each individual door slams into the wall right next to it. Pack. It clatters such that even the accordion dude loses a beat for a second, and everyone looks in that direction. Go ahead and make a performance check.
Okay.
Roll a d20 if you're not superstitious. This one
You're not superstitious.
plus 3.
Okay.
This was your
D20
performance.
plus 3. Okay.
I warned you, but
Oh, you know about the streak of this particular die?
That's what he said. Yeah. But okay. So
10. Okay, yeah. So you come in. People give you just enough pause to raise an eyebrow and then just keep going. However, you have been working on Sherwin for a much longer amount of time.
okay.
So I'm going to say that you've sort of built up enough that a 10 will do. So he comes in and you can see him avidly beginning to clean his glass. His glass has been cleaned for the past 5 minutes. And he's trying to ignore you. You can tell this is a look that you've gotten several times before at several different establishments. This is the look of, if I ignore him, he might go away. So, he's fastidiously cleaning this one glass and not paying you mind as you walk up to the bar.
Sure.
Are you walking up to the bar?
Yeah.
Where's
Walking to the bar, to the corner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you pretending like you don't know each other?
Yeah. I'm pretending like I don't know the person next to me. I'm just hanging out in the corner,
So you sit right there, right next to Harper.
lounging and just casing the joint.
Yeah.
I'm just counting my money. 1, 2.
Yeah. Sherman is suddenly very engaged in your counting. He just wants to be involved at this moment. Trying to ignore everything else that's happening.
Right.
Anyone else? There are no turns right now, so you can just go. And you can also jump into other people's.
You go first.
Does Sherwin know of Grail beforehand, or?
You said you were laying low, so he probably doesn't know you.
All right. So I guess Grail will just set her and find the most inconspicuous seat in the place, and just sit there.
Pick a spot.
Maybe
There
you
would be
should
fine.
sit with the noble. No, just kidding.
Is there a musician playing?
Yes.
I sit somewhere near the music, and then I sort of express or sort of display that I'm interested in the music, and
Okay.
I order a drink.
All right. Sure.
Just discreet.
Let us take a look at Grail.
Yep.
Your passive insight is 13.
Yes, it is. Is it? Yeah.
As you order a drink and Emmy walks up to you, you can see that Emmy's very distracted right now. She serves you the drink, but she's not paying attention. She almost spills the drink into your lap, apologizing profusely. You can see that her gaze is always looking back to Mordok, having come in. She's walking to a different table. She's cleaning up a mess. She's serving food, but her eyes always keep darting back to Mordok. That's what you notice with your passive insight. Anyone else?
I'm gonna pick who looks the least
Noticeable.
who looks the least hostile
Least hostile.
among the crew.
Probably Cornelia the Red.
Who looks the most aggressive or hostile?
The orc?
Or not necessarily hostile,
Aggressive or hostile, probably the Grung.
but the ground.
Every single time that you've walked up to them, they chased you away with spears.
But sir, okay, in that case, well, have I found out? If I've been hanging out here, have I found out about where they've been, or where they were stationed previously, where they came from before they docked here?
They don't keep records. I mean, the parents.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if I ask them, or
Go ahead and make a persuasion check. And we're gonna say that this is representative of your having gone up to them and interviewed them and tried to be
and
nice.
then I'm trying to pass it off as I'm like drawing my own map of. Nah, 6.
6. They give you a little something. I mean, all they want to really tell you is they've been to the mainland and everything in between. But you know, they tend to focus specifically on adventures and feats of heroism or daring or villainy. But they don't want. They tend to keep locations undisclosed. Cornelia, who might have been the most friendly to you, would have told you that she's been as far as J-Port Bravo back in the day.
How far away is that from here?
J-Port Bravo? It's probably the second closest port from Bay of Naples at the mainland.
It's pretty far.
But how many days does it take?
Like a month.
What else?
So are we, as a group, do we want to, are we trying to interrogate each of the captains to see who is the leak, or they know who the leak is? What's our goal coming in here? We don't, I don't know what our mission is, other than we know there's someone leaking information.
I'm just trying to glean information from the different.
Okay.
For like 7 days, right? This kind of routine.
Okay.
Alright.
And ultimately, the mission given to you is stop the leak.
Yeah. Okay. So we're trying to determine the leak. And
Yeah.
are you able to tell us that the leak is in this tavern?
That's what you've determined over the course of how many weeks.
Cool.
So
Okay.
the weeks that you've been together leading up to this point is you narrowing your leads
Okay.
to this.
Okay. Okay.
So this is the last step.
Okay.
No signatures. There are no specific turns.
Harper would tell the group about the things that she has observed for the past 7 days that she has been doing this routine of selling the mushrooms.
So
People, she knows that the chaos, this is like the constant chaos that happens in the tavern. People going in and out and just drinking and just having a good time. But who stands out here?
go ahead and make an insight check at advantage. Oh, by the way, advantage, whenever I tell you to roll at advantage, it's roll 2d20s, pick the higher. If I say roll at a disadvantage, that's 2d20s, pick the lower. Okay? And for Lucas and Christian, at this particular phase, it's sort of free form.
Yeah.
You just tell me what you want to try and do, or what you want to try and accomplish, and we figure it out.
Okay, cool.
So, you have been scoping the place out on behalf of everyone, and you informed them right before coming here. Okay. Insight check? Oh, shit. Okay, pretty high. So, noticeable things. Captains, of the captains. You're going to notice that Nardok doesn't like talking. Nardok and his crew likes to keep to itself. They've spoken only with Tubok one time. It was cordial, surprisingly, considering how savage these two races can be at each other.
Only once.
Puratu has a very difficult time trying to communicate with others,
Yeah.
and largely it's the threat of violence that breaks out. Puratu, of all of the crews here, the grown-up throw their weight around the most. Cornelia is the most friendly. She's always making friends she's always inviting pirates to come sit with her and her crew. Their crew seems to be highly charismatic. A lot of them. Half of Wendell's staff do not speak or laugh or participate.
What?
And do not speak or laugh or participate with tavern goers. For 7 days, you've maybe seen this half of them speak once, or just like to confirm an order, yes, no. That's our thing.
Just order.
Yeah.
Alright.
And they walk around with sort of expressionless faces.
Who, the staff?
Yeah,
Staff?
half of the staff.
Half.
So I'm guessing we can't consult.
And because your insight check is so high, you notice that though Sherwin calls the shots, Emmy is the person that is in charge of that. Though outwardly Sherwin asks for things and tells the staff to do things, you're figuring out by the body language that he's taking cues from Emmy. Emmy is actually the person in charge.
Okay. Sure. I make sure every end of the day that I talk to Mordok, Stefan, and Rose about it. So that you'll know that information.
There you go.
Okay.
Does Emmy look tired?
Emmy?
Yeah. Does she
No.
look haggard, or does she look uninterruptible with her work?
She doesn't look haggard. You can go ahead and make an insight check. I'll let you go. Roll it. Roll it.
Are we gonna count that? 12.
Total?
Plus
Oh, 3.
Inside.
3.
Inside. Ayan.
15 total.
Okay. You can tell that she's immaculate, actually. Surprising, given the time of day.
Is she like approachable? Like, could you just talk to her, walk up to her, and ask her stuff?
Oh yeah, so I mean, she seems like the type that is always on, right? And even as distracted as she is, she's very accommodating. Of course, warm, friendly.
What if I attempt to ask Kenny? It's like, if she walks by my table, I tell her, hey, I'm new here. Could you keep me company? Like, sit with me for a while, maybe share a drink?
She politely refuses and saying, "Oh, we're sort of at our peak right now. I need to be tending the tables and stuff." But maybe later when the tavern gets a little less busy, to get introduced.
I'm Grail. What's your name?
She introduces herself. Oh, I'm Emmy. Sherman's my husband. We run the tavern.
I'll be here for a while, so in case you need.
Sure. You don't look like a local.
Exactly. That's why I'm trying to get.
Are you part of one of those? Are you part of those resistance members?
What resistance members? Just here for a tour? Just here for a trip.
Oh, well, this place is kind of out of the way for like vacation.
We'll talk about that later.
Okay,
If
sure.
you'd like to know.
She beams a smile at you.
I raised the on. See you later. So I guess I'm actually going to stay put for a while and maybe wait for the tavern to start closing up.
You want to wait to close it?
I'm going to try to wait it out just to see if I can get
Okay. If no one else has anything to do and has no idea how they want to proceed.
Well, now that we know that Emmy is running the place and may know more about things going on, and it seemed like Emmy and I have had a past, or have had an acknowledgement of who each other are. I kind of want to get in her good graces, and I have a high deception, but I don't want to deceive her. I want to, intimidation. I don't want to intimidate her. I want to deceive her or do like a sleight of hand to make her warm up to me. So maybe I can come over to her and do some sort of trick, like a magic trick or something, a sleight of hand to make her be like, oh, Mordok. And then I can begin to get in her good graces.
The question is, are you using magic to do this? No.
I'm just using my sleight of hand.
Okay, like a card trick?
Like a card trick.
Okay, sure.
Like a parlor trick.
Go ahead and make... Are you proficient with gaming tools at all?
With gaming tools?
Yeah.
Like what?
Like cards?
Yes. Well, I'm a gambler. So on the sheet, when I was reading the player handbook, I had to roll. And one of my things is I'm a gambler, so I'm used to cards.
Okay, alright. Go ahead and make a dexterity check with your proficiency modifier.
Okay.
So
it's dexterity
2 and
plus...
4. 2 plus 4.
2 plus 2.
Is it sleight of hand or just...
Sleight of hand?
Well, I'm not going to call it sleight of hand, but I'm going to say that it's dexterity with proficiency, which is essentially the same thing. So
It's
plus 4.
the dexterity plus...
Okay.
Proficiency plus 4.
So
So it's 4.
Okay. 17 plus 4, so 20. Okay.
Excellent, yeah. So, you call her over and you're like, Emmy, let me show you something. What sort of trick do you pull?
Like a vanishing card trick, and it comes out her ear.
Okay. She giggles at that, definitely. Since you're up over here, I'll say you catch her right as she's approaching. It's a really good trick. It's a really good trick. Basically, if you were anyone else, they'd have thought it was magic. It's literal magic. Just boom, disappears straight out of your hand. And then you hear a slight gasp from her, and you get her to giggle, and she definitely wants. She says, have you ever thought about performing? Maybe you can really bring the crowd to this place.
No, it's just for myself, just for my own amusement.
Now, Harper, with a passive insight of 15, you can tell she is faking. She laughs and she's very good at it, but you can just barely tell that it's sort of a mask.
Ooh.
But
Something's not right with him.
you can detect it.
Okay. I don't know what's up, but you know.
But to you,
She bought it.
Okay.
yeah, you've
I
gone her over.
immediately follow up her compliment. What's that compliment?
Oh, would you like to perform?
Yeah, I say, yeah, you should, do this as a career. And I took 2 mushrooms and and I give him 2 good berries.
Okay. Add that to your record, because that's actually a magic.
So do I have 2 mushrooms? You gave me 2 mushrooms?
Yeah, 2 good berries. You can
Okay.
add them.
But they look mushrooms.
mushrooms.
Okay. Well, I accept them and I put them in my little satchel, and I sit back, continuing drinking my ale, pretending that I own the place.
So she chats you up for a little bit. She asks your hometown. You both exchange sort of pleasantries up until the point that Sherwin sort of nervously already just sort of, and so cues her that she walks away. But to you it seems off.
Okay. Interesting. Now, when you tell her that she perceives these things, do I?
No.
My player doesn't know.
Your
I'm
character.
just hearing it.
Just the eye roll.
Okay.
Normally I would whisper this.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm sort of demonstrating
Yeah.
how the
Okay.
mechanics.
Makes sense. Okay.
I just
Okay.
gave the eye roll.
Yeah. But since Harper is trying to cue you, you can see her eye roll basically.
Okay.
When Emmy's deep in it, like selling it to you thick, you can see that Harper's this one.
Okay. So we're communicating non-verbally, and so am I understanding that there's something going on?
She's cute. It definitely feels like she's cueing me that something's off.
Okay.
There you go. You guys are like way,
like
you're like way across the bar. You see none of this. None of
Okay,
this.
sure.
You might have. No, not even then.
I'm just enjoying the music.
Yeah. So,
Within the 7 days, would we have noticed their schedules? How long do they stay here, and then what time do they leave? Do they all arrive at the same time?
it seems that some of
I
them,
mean, also the staff.
the staffs work all the time. There's always somebody on. At least 4 people. At most, all of them are on. All 8.
If you like talk about Marduk's plan, like doing that magic, did we talk about that?
10, sorry. Which 10 of them?
Like he tried to do magic, like to what
I
did
think
he
he just did it spontaneously.
Yeah, I also
Okay.
think it is
It's just rolling maybe
So, there are 10 staff in total, including Sherwin and
What about
and at most, even at the low capacity times, minimum 4, and then sometimes all 10 of them working at the same time when it gets really cold. Those of you that have been staying here know that they cycle in and out. Crew members. Sometimes the captain's not here. Sometimes they're not here. Sometimes this particular group is not here, but of people of the same crew are here. So it's not this set of 4 orcs, it's a different set of 4 orcs, but all belonging to Cetas. That sort of thing. You know that some of them take rooms upstairs, some of them just sleep over one night. Some of them come in, some of them come out. Probably you know that Cornelia the Red, Nardok have rooms upstairs. Almost permanently, it seems. If the last 7 days is any indication. Meaning they've had rooms, so they just retreat to those rooms for the entire 7 days. Almost every day. You also happen to know that the inn is also Sherwin's home. Sherwin and Emmy stay here, along with their handyman. Basically, this runner dude does all the dirty work. Goes by the name of
was this the handyman?
yeah.
Sure. He is in
He goes by the name of Crowell Greennose.
For what?
Crowell Greennose,
Crowell?
the goblin.
Green nose?
Okay, and who's this person?
Crowell Greennose.
And what is he?
And that
He's Sherwin's handyman. He does all of the dirty work.
Okay.
If he needs like a toilet plumbed, sends him.
Okay.
If he needs like a roof thatched, he does it.
Okay. Where is he in the tavern?
Right now,
Yeah.
probably upstairs cleaning.
What's his like race or
Goblin.
just a commoner?
Goblin.
Oh, Goblin.
Goblin. So,
In,
so Crowell, Sherwin, and Emmy all live in the tavern.
Okay.
The other staff seem to come and go.
Okay.
Would you be jealous if Cole is adept in communicating? Does he have any impediment or impairment with regards to
So far, he seems to not be able to vocalize well. He has a huge scar on his throat, and he just seems to whisper to Sherwin and Emmy whenever he needs to speak. But otherwise, he sort of nods mutely with a smile on his face. Like,
He's not mentally disabled or anything.
no, I mean he's nimble. You see him. At one point, you might have seen him like actually climb a wall to get to the second floor.
what does his voice sound like? Is it
Well,
raspy?
you've never heard. He's never spoken.
Never met him yet.
And he seems to only whisper. And when he whispers,
Oh, we
it's
haven't
to-
met him yet.
Do we
Yeah.
all know
No,
who
you
he
have
is?
not met him in terms of sat down with him to speak with him.
I've
or
seen
anything. No, you've seen him.
Alright, great. Okay.
But he doesn't seem to talk to anyone other than Sherwin. and Emmy.
Now, do we think that Sherwin and Emmy are up to no good?
Emmy and Sherman.
We can.
Yeah, we
Do
got.
we think anything? Do we think anything about them? Do we want to press their handyman into revealing something?
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Because we could, I could. So, did you say the goblin has all his factories? Did you say that is he dim-witted or is he?
No, he
He's
seems.
just normal.
Yeah, it's just that he never talks.
Because I could do a mask of many faces and pretend to be Sherwin,
Oh shit.
asking him to retrieve to me these important documents and see what happens. I can deceive him too. I have a high deception. But I feel like maybe we would need to. I think first maybe you and I start chatting to you and maybe almost hitting on you, and then we leave the bar area so that way you can tell me what you perceived from me.
So under the guise of like finding someplace more secluded,
Yeah.
where you're
Yeah.
bringing her away from her, so that Sherman thinks
So
that
now,
you guys
so now we're walking away as people who
place
just
yourself,
met each
wherever
other.
you want.
Where do you want to just go over to, like the wall area over
Yeah,
here?
sure.
Not
Standing?
near anybody, and we're chatting.
Yeah.
Getting
Where we can be heard.
Or you want like
kinda
near
far
the
away.
near the musician so that nobody can overhear you.
Okay, yeah, that's
And
good.
you're like basically screaming into each other's ears.
Yeah. So then so now I know what you know about how she was.
It's just speaking.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now, maybe we're too quick to jump on them, but who doesn't like magic tricks? So when
Yes, please.
She's fake.
so she was faking. So I now know she's faking. So maybe we can start pressing that, or maybe we can start talking to the captains. But I feel like from what we've heard from the captains that if we begin to engage with them, a lot of them are quick to resort to, they're suspicious or quick to resort to violence. And my character personally has no defense. So I would like to pursue avenues where I can use my charisma to do that, and then when it comes time for it, then I can attack. But if I were to get in a fight with one of these captains, I would probably die immediately.
I believe you.
Okay. I'll tell Murdoch that, well, it seems that Cornelia and Murdoch has rooms upstairs, and we're aware that, who is the handyman? The weed. It's not the
Crowell.
Crowell's kind of like the handyman. Might know the whole plan upstairs, and maybe we can sneak around in
Do we want to pursue that avenue? Do we want to go that way?
Maybe you
Oh,
can convince, I don't know,
Yeah.
Dobby.
Uh,
Cruel.
Crowell.
Crowell.
So-
Not Dobby? Okay.
So Stefan doesn't know about the Emmy and Marduk thing a while ago because it's way too far.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you can definitely, you guys can just walk over and share information if you want.
well,
Wait, I do believe if you're willing to like let that go, you have the awakened mind feature,
Yeah.
which allows you to speak directly into people's heads.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, actually.
So if you wanted to, I mean, it would reveal something about yourself to these people. But you're working with them already, so why not?
Yeah.
If you wanted to, you could basically bring everyone up to speed.
Okay.
And nobody would be the wiser.
Oh, that's clutch. Okay. And I can speak to everybody at the same time?
No,
No,
one at
it's
a time.
Or one at a time?
But
That's,
basically,
that's
as you're
30 feet.
as you're
That's,
pretending to
range.
speak
Yeah, okay,
here, you could like
30
walk around, basically
Okay.
chatting it up, pretending to flirt, and then having actually a conversation in the other direction.
Ah.
Now, awakened mind is one way,
Okay.
so they can't talk back to you,
Okay.
but they can hear you.
Okay.
So if you want to catch everyone up to speed, you could do it that way.
Okay. So let's do that. So we're walking and talking. I was originally gonna like put on the little magic show, like they said, to have draw people to us. But no, I think that's a good idea. So we're walking and talking, and I'm telling everyone as we go through what we've discovered. But my assumption is, as I'm telling you this, you're becoming aware that I can even do this.
Yeah. So
And now-
Mordok's head, Mordok's voice
It's in my head.
is in your head right now.
okay.
Right alongside your own inner voice. You know, with your mind sort of gauging people, asking yourself, going through things, and then suddenly an invasive presence just in there, talking over the top of your own inner voice, drowning out your inner persona to be exact.
Very brash.
Yeah. Kind of loud too, like somebody like talking overly loud into your ear when they're right next to you.
Like a radio.
I respond out loud.
Oh,
Oh, who's that?
Because we don't know about his powers yet.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you-
Mordok explains himself, but then you are immediately aware that
Yeah.
Mordok's something else.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I thought it was the mushrooms.
That's the mushroom.
So yeah, so we catch you up to speed that I'm going to pursue, or we are going to pursue this direction with the tavern owner, the wife, and the handyman.
So now you actually know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we're all up to speed. And so where is the handyman
Right now, not to be seen. He might be upstairs.
Okay.
What time is it? Like right now?
I'll say, given the amount of stuff that you're doing, maybe about 3:30.
Twitter. Okay. Still down.
I don't want to bogart what we're doing right now, but I'll keep moving forward if that's okay.
You guys, anyone else want to do something?
Well, knowing that like Stefan, like all of us, like how many? 5 of us know that there are rooms upstairs for the Reds and the what?
Marduk and Cornelia.
Yeah, Cornelia and Nardak and their team. I called Emmy to ask for another ale,
Okay.
and then but Emmy was shocked because I asked her to give it to Cornelia instead.
You send a drink to Cornelia.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good job, good job.
nice.
Okay.
So
Good job.
yeah.
Okay.
I
So she comes up to you, offers you the drink, and then when you ask her to give it to Cornelia, she at first she seems a little
She was
surprised,
shocked.
and then she gives you a smile and winks at you, and she walks over and provides it to Cornelia. She puts it on Cornelia's table, and a little bit of confusion and conversation between the two of them, and then Cornelia looks over Emmy's shoulder, sees you, and you. How do you?
I was just looking at her, and then I gave him like the toast, and then a smirk.
Sure. Go ahead and just make a simple persuasion check. DC is not too high. It's just sort of just
Yeah, so it's
to
this
sit and look
one.
pretty, essentially, just give
And
her a
then
charming wink.
So you don't look
Persuasion.
creepy.
Yeah, essentially.
Don't be
Just
a
so you don't look
creep.
creepy.
Not a creep.
90.
Nice.
Yeah. So she.
Oh, so
Cornelia-
charming.
I'd say Cornelia winks back, but she's missing an eye. So
Okay.
She blinks.
She may or may not have.
Yeah, she may or may not have, but she gives you a smile, and she just goes. She waves you over. She's like,
Does she have
"Come over and sit down."
male companions with her as well?
She does.
Yeah.
She does. There are
Like,
4 of them at the table.
How do they react?
Well, there's 4.
Yes.
The well-dressed man just turns over and looks at you, and then just chortles a little bit, but in amusement, or just in
Are they drunk?
no,
Like foreign?
no. I mean they're casually drinking.
Okay.
So,
Mordok gives you the thumbs up.
so yeah, she invites you over to her table.
Okay, so Stefan walk over. No. So Stefan walk over the table.
Okay, yeah. Cornelia kicks the well-dressed man off the seat so that he moves over so that you can sit right next to him.
Okay. So does Cornelia like notice me being alone in the tavern for days?
She does, and she mentions it. She says, "So I've seen you around, but you're kind of a loner. Were you waiting all this time to hit on me?
Well, who knows?
Who knows?" She says, "I bet we'll know soon enough."
And then like the lonely guy turns into like a shy guy, Stefan.
Okay.
And she was like, I'm Stefan.
Oh, okay. Are you putting on the appearance of being shy, or are you actually shy?
I'm actually shy.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. Go ahead and make a persuasion check. This is just sort of to endear her to you. So basically, does she feel like picking on you because you're shy, or does she feel like taking care of you because you sort of you give off this vulnerable feel? Go ahead and make it.
Yes.
7.
Plus.
Yeah, it's already 2 plus 9.
Oh,
Yeah.
7. Okay.
Bad.
Yeah. So she
7.
Yeah. 2. No, the other one is 2.
she laughs. She laughs unladylike, chortle, almost guffawing. And however, it's all good natured. You can see that the rest of her crew are also having a bit of fun. The one next to you, the well-dressed one, he introduces himself to you as Zane.
Same.
Zane?
Zane. Like the former member of
Nice.
Sure.
So, Zane says, don't worry. Did you introduce yourself already as Stefan?
Yeah, I did to Cornelia. Oh my.
Okay, well, you're sitting at the same table, so
Oh,
you
yeah.
agree. So Zane says, don't worry, Stefan, you'll get there. A few more drinks and we'll make a man of you yet.
Yeah, sure.
So, they order like 3 more drinks and several of them are. And they're obviously trying to get you drunk.
Well, Stefan has a high tolerance with beer, so he doesn't get drunk.
Are you going to try to weather the drinks?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw. Constitution is how healthy your body is, how strong it is against resisting poisons, and in this case, intoxication. So, make a Constitution saving throw, and let's see how drunk you get.
19.
19, not bad. Okay, so you down these drinks like a champ, and then you're a little bit shy, a little bit awkward, but obviously unaffected by the drink, and you have certainly made an impression on the community.
Nice.
Oh, you're pretty strong.
Yeah.
That just means that we have to order you more. And then, so they keep calling you drinks. Is there anything you want to try and do while they're in this good mood?
Well, not really. Just still talking to Cornelia, knowing, like, asking her about what does she do, and or like knowing more about Cornelia.
Okay.
Do you want to ask her what she thinks of the
Like,
yuan-ti? Is it the yuan-ti?
Yuan-ti, yeah.
The yuan-ti
Snake Man.
taking over the world, basically. Isn't that what's happening?
Essentially.
Maybe we
Well, I
can
cannot-
squeeze out his
Oh yeah.
Do you? Can you hear us though?
Well, I mean, don't all of you? We all know that it's for the resistance because of the yuan-ti. Maybe Stefano knows.
About what?
Maybe he can just bring it up and gauge her reaction and see how she sees what's happening with it.
Okay, so Stefan asked like a random question. That's what can you say about the yuan-ti?
She says, fucking hate her. You put me out of business. Go ahead and make an insight check. I mean, that is only make an insight check if you're trying to determine if she's telling
If
the
she's
truth.
telling the truth, yeah.
Correct.
Natural 20.
Shit.
Nice.
This is lucky.
Okay, yeah. She begins to spit curses up and down, almost every language she touches upon, just to cuss out essentially the yuan-ti and tell you about how nasty it is being out there. You can tell something's off.
Something what?
Something's off.
She's not. That's not really.
So well, I still knowing that there's something off with Cornelia. I don't want to push that much, so I just want to know about her more. So we just keep company, and then, yeah.
She reveals that she's sort of this high-end smuggler. Essentially, she currently smuggles for the resistance. To smuggle goods and soldiers into enemy-held territory. That's her main function. She's a relatively small crew, but they're very efficient, and so their services are very sought after. That's basically what you get.
Do we know that you're a warlock? Have you shared with us you're a warlock?
Yeah. Well, you know that I was a warlock. I am a warlock, but you don't know what my my only thing that my only reason that you know that wait, sorry.
It's okay. Take a look at your stuff.
So
Say
you're a
what
warlock.
sort of thing what sort of spell
Yeah,
or
what
ability
have you
might have
revealed
used.
to us?
Oh well, none yet. But the only thing that you know is I'm looking for my sister.
Okay.
Oh, so we don't know you have
do I know?
magic?
Yeah. Do
Yeah.
we know that you can do magic?
Yeah, you do know.
We know.
Since he's a warlock,
But
you're
I
a
haven't
warlock,
used anything.
do you have awakened mind as well?
No.
No.
Different type of warlock.
Yeah.
There's the rub.
That's why I can communicate.
Okay. So we don't know what's happening.
But we know that you have magic.
Yeah. And that's why I was not surprised when Marduk, when I heard Marduk talking to me.
Okay.
That's why.
Grail, I'll let you go. You're close enough to that table. I'll let you go ahead and make a perception check to try and eavesdrop. Try and what?
Eavesdrop.
This accordion is really good.
Sitting right
This
next to
music is just, it's hip, it's getting the place lively, people are dancing, they're having a good time.
Where is he? Where is Grail?
There.
I'm right next to the musicians.
Next to the musicians.
All I keep saying is, what?
approach Grail and say, "Are you okay?
What?
Do you want samples?" I gave him two mushrooms.
Okay. Add two good berries to your inventory.
It tastes good. Yeah.
Thanks.
What's your character's name again?
Harper.
Harper.
Okay. Does Harper Harper has high perception, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You would know, so does Grail.
And Grail, okay.
Grail and Harper are your most perceptive.
How much of dice tower?
And perception would be used to look in a room and see what's
Use
going
your
on.
senses. Anything to do with your senses.
From that last roll, would I have some sort of semblance to move away from the music because I'm trying to...
If you want to, you can notice. Yeah, you can move up.
Right, so maybe I'm
Unsketchily?
feel annoyed with I'm starting to feel annoyed with the music. It's gotten a bit too loud. I'm trying to listen in on what's been happening because I've noticed certain activity happening.
Okay.
With Stefan sitting with Cornelia and then Harper walking more down. So I tried to listen in, but the music distracted me. So I'm going to move into a more audible part of the area.
Got it.
Maybe somewhere here.
Do you think maybe going into this and our pre-planning meeting that we've established some sort of sign when something major has come across?
And
Have we been
Fair,
have we
fair,
been
fair.
signaled
Fair. Yeah, you
to
can do
come
that.
over here?
What sign would you guys have agreed on, and what does it mean?
Exactly. I probably wouldn't have picked up on it
Okay.
at this point. It's just, for me, what's most noticeable is Stefan sitting with Cornelia.
Okay.
That's just it.
Okay.
How are you guys moving forward?
Well, not knowing what's going on over there, but knowing that Harper has high perception, we could still go the route of the guy. Where would the office be for this shipwreck? Upstairs. So we could proceed to go upstairs, and then while we're going upstairs away out of sight of everybody, I could then turn into, since it seems that it's the wife that is running the show, I could turn into her. Do I have her voice too with Mask of Many Faces? No?
just the face.
Just the face. Okay.
You could try and fake it.
You could, you could,
Out of the mouth.
you could talk like a woman.
But could I use deception roll on that too to see my voice?
The DC will be higher because it's kind of hard. But you could try and fake it, especially if there were other circumstances, like maybe you're in a really, like you were right next to the musician, right? So the music's really loud. They might just barely hear your voice, so it might be able to disguise.
Are
it
we
a bit better.
assuming that he's on this overlook?
It's possible?
Is
Yeah.
he within earshot, or we don't know where
You don't
he
know.
is?
We don't know where.
So we could begin to go upstairs, and then I turn into the wife, and then we could hopefully run into the goblin near the music, and then we could do a deception roll and say, this is someone who's working with us now, because they know you from selling the mushrooms. Take us to, I guess we would already know where the office is. We can't really, it would be weird to ask them where the office is.
Where's my office, honey?
I forgot.
Or maybe I could say, take her to the office. And then when you're in there, you could
Root around.
use you could see what's going on. Maybe there's a safe, maybe there's some documents.
So,
At least then we could check them off of the list of the
Are you
people.
alerting your party to the rest of this? You're like,
yeah, will you
as
tell
when you guys
Rose
decided
about
to plan, you broadcasting it to your friends?
Well, I mean, I feel like I've seen what's going on, but I don't know what's happening. Right?
Yeah, you can see that Stefan has begun plying Cornelia.
I don't think I tell them yet. I think we go do our thing, but they, since we're close enough, they see us walk off, and there's an assumption that something is happening.
Would you prefer to go up to Senate for
Well, I'm with Harper,
What?
and Andy, because she's known for selling the mushrooms, so the good berries. So the goblin knows who she is. And
We're sending her as a spy.
Yeah, so we'll make an
What's
interaction saying,
upstairs?
take her
The
to the
rooms?
office, huh?
What's upstairs? The rooms
There's
and
the
the
rooms
office.
in the main office.
Do you know if that's off limits, or do we know if that area is off limits?
Well, no, primarily because there are rooms upstairs. So people with rooms usually go upstairs.
is the bathroom upstairs too, or just okay?
But
I
if,
mean, do you want to do that? Like, I don't want
yeah,
to.
we can go upstairs, but if someone if someone sees us, then they might be wondering why.
strangers?
Yeah, like since they may or may not know that we don't have rooms up here, so they might get suspicious. So okay, maybe okay, it's time for a bar fight. No, I'm going to approach the grung crew. But would I have
Puratu.
if I've been traveling around, would I have a map of Would I have a map of a forest or a jungle?
A jungle, a forest, any?
I don't know. Have I heard of them? Where they come from?
Go ahead and make a history. I'll say advantage because you're well traveled.
Well, the office is locked.
Oh,
The goblin
you need it.
would open it for me. Because I'm pretending to be the wife.
Nice.
Right? That's what I thought too.
16, okay.
But
All right,
they
you
would-
know of the Grum. The Grum are basically indigenous people of Amazon rainforest type places, tropical jungles, including the one here, right here on the Bay of Rapiers. There is a vast, thick swath of jungle in the center of the island. There are many Grung that live there. They are also native to J-Port Pralo. So if they sail, they gotta come here.
Would I have a map, for example, would I have been to J-Port Pralo already or not?
Sure. I'll say
Eh,
you might have visited that.
in that case, if I see something's going on there, and then I don't know, I have no plan. I'm going to approach the captain, but I'm already holding out the map and then pointing it to the. Assuming I'm immediately assuming they know how to read maps, so I'll just approach Kurato.
Yeah.
I just call his name. I'll speak in all the languages I know: Common, Gnomish, and Draconic, and I'm trying to. I just go back to their table and I'm holding up the map. And
What
then
is your goal with this? What are you trying to achieve as you show them the map?
I just look like I'm just trying to appear as curious and go asking if they are from this place.
Now, are you actually trying to find out, or are you trying to provoke some sort of reaction?
Sure, provoke.
Provoke some sort of reaction. Okay. Go ahead then and make, let's say, a performance check at an advantage because they've driven you away from this table more than once already.
Oh, okay.
And the DC is pretty low.
That's -1.
So then,
Was it advantage?
Oh, 14.
14?
Yeah.
14. Okay. 14 is enough. So as you walk up, you can hear them begin to sort of chirp in annoyance. It's this almost bird-like sound that goes sort of like a high-pitched whistle at the very end as it begins to deepen as they actively croak, and you can see that their throats just sort of expand outwards as they sort of puff themselves up in anger. At your approach, and you keep rattling on, just go on going like, look at your map, and so you're like, oh, you guys from over here, and how about over this? And you just keep going and go, and because you're Warforged, you never need to take a breath, so it rattles off like a printer.
I've been here. Yeah, I've never seen one of your kind.
Oh yeah. And eventually, they have enough of you, and one of them jumps up on the table and just throws a spear at you.
Are you serious?
I think
Unfortunately, that's only going to be a 14 to hit.
that misses.
Yeah. So you
not
don't
the
even.
map.
Yeah. So your compartment opens up in your chest. You stuff the map in, and the spear hits you straight in the face, but just sort of scrapes off the side of your metal plate. Shink and tingling. You can tell that you're definitely provoked them, and if you don't step away, maybe in the next 6 seconds or so, they're gonna go ape shit on you.
Do they? But everyone else is not bothered.
People
by
are looking over, but you've done this over the past 7 days. They've seen this play out. Your goal is that you're providing commotion. Okay, so in that case, I'll just sort of glaze over. I just say that, is it safe to assume that you're staying just long enough to keep eyes on you? And then you're leaving before they kill you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's what's happening. As you intend to sort of go up, you see that Rose walks all the way up to to the ground and starts shit.
Okay. We continue to move towards the stairs. We notice there's a tip of the hat as an acknowledgement, and we turn. We go through the stairs. And is there anyone else on the stairs?
Right now, first of all, the two of you, are you trying to go up undetected?
We are just going up normally, but is the stairs covered? Once we're in the stairs, is there anybody?
Yes.
Okay.
It's basically a box.
So then once I get into the stairwell, or we get in the stairwell, am I able to cast the? I want to check to make sure there's no one else in
Absolutely.
eyesight.
I just gotta ask this one thing real quick.
Yeah.
As you disengage yourself from the group over
Yeah.
here and come up here, are you trying to do that unnoticed by anyone in the bar?
Maybe you should.
Well,
Or are you
we
fine
should-
with people seeing you?
We should do it unnoticed because of the
Okay.
nature of my
I
wear.
say, Marta, are you sure you don't want to? Do you want Grail to join? She keeps a good eye.
Oh,
Walk with them.
I don't know if.
You also, while you know that Grail has a pretty sharp eye, you also know that she's one of the quietest members of the group. Sean, what's your stealth? +5?
Yep.
Yeah, so she's
That's fine.
Grail is one of the quietest members. She's light on her feet and sharper.
So my thinking was we're going up there under the guise of the fact that the goblin knows that you have a relationship with these two people already. That if we were then to bring in this quiet person.
However, you do have the advantage of Grail having never set foot in the bar and keeping a low profile for 7 days. So you could sell her as someone else. You could say bodyguard. You could
Okay.
say
Or your co-mushroom picker.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's do that then. So we walk by. Where are you on the map?
here.
Are we close enough to? So you moved away from the music. So we've moved in earshot, and now that you know that I can speak to you, I say, come. I fill you in on the plan.
So the three of you begin to walk
You
up
wanna
the
stay? You
stairs,
wanna stay there?
and
Yeah.
you can
And
see.
they're almost
I need
shielding
her
me
for later.
Butter.
from.
Maybe I can go upstairs with her.
We want to go.
Yeah.
Since she has rooms, right?
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
I signal to Murdoch and Grail and I say, come, and I pull out a black mushroom and I hand it out and yeah, it has this glitter or shimmer effect and then it suddenly decays and rots away and it poofs in black. I cast without grace.
Okay, excellent. So everyone, go ahead and make your stealth checks.
Okay.
But because Harper has cast Pass Without a Trace, whatever the roll is, add +10.
Okay, say that again.
Roll stealth check first. Your stealth is
2.
+2.
2
D20
plus
Did
2.
the
plus
commotion help? Not.
Yeah,
not really.
advantage, sorry.
19 plus 2 plus 2. Picking up same.
Roll the stealth check at advantage.
Whatever one's cold.
Advantage. So Harper has passed without trace, so you have a
you
plus
can roll
5,
again,
then
and
the
if it's
spell
even higher,
has plus 10, so you have
it's
plus 15 total because of
19.
because of her spell.
+2? Or is it 19 total?
Advantage.
19 plus 2.
You roll advantage.
20,
Because
21.
I provoke
+10. 34.
Okay, roll
Is that
twice,
good?
pick plus. Oh, you can use. Yeah.
now-
roll twice
Oh,
plus.
I gotta hear everyone else.
I did real think
Yeah,
while
roll
we're doing
twice.
it, we
Pick
should
the
have
higher
pulled
one.
her away from the eyesight of the.
Plus.
So this is enemy. We should have pulled her away from the eyesight of what is.
Well,
So we're just going for it at this point now.
26.
Shit. No problem. Yeah,
Well,
there's
yeah.
enough commotion. People are. Zane seems to have taken you under his wing, and he seems insistent on like feeding you drinks all the time. And he's pointing them out to you, and they're laughing. You can see that the orcs are like waiting for a fight to break out so they can join in.
Yes.
That sort of thing. The room looks poised for a brawl.
Why? Oh. Oh. Yeah, but as the girls swarm me, I just stand up as they're hanging from me, and then, please, I simply wish to ask some questions.
So you've got like 3-foot grung like hanging off your arms and on your head like beating on you with their fists. That sort of thing. You make your way up, and as you do, there is a figure walking down. There is one of the barmaids. Harper, you might recognize her as perhaps the girl named Kristen, a young lady. She approaches. She doesn't seem surprised to see you. Just sort of this blank expression in her face. And as she's walking down, she takes a look at the three of you and she says, "Are you settling for rooms?"
Say yes.
We say, yeah. We say, yeah. We got it. We got it covered. We're going. We know where we're going.
Have you settled your tab?
And then I say Sherwin already knows about it.
Okay, go ahead and make a deception check.
Was that 6 plus 5? 11.
Is that the curse there?
So,
But I threw a good one with
yeah,
it.
you did. That got you like a 17 and 19.
Yeah.
So, you,
I go, Sherwin already knows about it.
what was that actually?
It's like a
It's
Jedi
like the
mind trick.
Force. Yeah, it's like Sherwin already knows about it.
We all know Sherwin.
Yeah.
So she just sort of stares at you first for an awkward amount of time. 3 whole seconds of silence, just looking at you, and looking at you, and looking at you. Very well. And she just walks down, blank as a sheet of paper.
Okay.
How does it register on her face? She's unreadable.
She speaks in a monotone. She has no facial expression. She walks down.
Yeah, it's
Suspicious.
Not like
Maybe she just hates her job though.
So like half the staff
Too
hate.
relatable. Too
Yeah, too. Yeah. Maybe she's
half the
just
staff are like
this
that.
Fucking.
Oh, well, that's true. Maybe a lot of them hate their jobs.
Yeah.
That might be true, but Harper knows that that Kristen has been that way for the entire time that she's had.
Okay. So she's been like that the entire time.
The entire 7 days that you've been scouting this place.
Okay.
really.
Yeah,
Does she
she's
know?
one of the weird ones that seems to just be just sort of walking.
Do we know if she verifies whether? Do we know if she verifies whether people have paid their room tabs already?
You're not really sure. None of you have tried to take rooms here. But you know, she just walks down, seemingly unbothered by people else.
But we're assuming she knows of my presence in the place and my relationship with the barkeep.
Well, you just
So-
entered today.
But I've met the. Oh, that's true. I did just go in there today. Well,
The only person that knows her is from the show.
okay, that's true. Okay.
But you know,
I think we just got.
you're not entirely sure what's going on right there. But she just walks out.
Yeah. So I think we go up and there's no one can see us, and then I do mask of many faces and become become Emmy.
Okay.
So,
I'll give you inspiration. What this is basically when you do something creative or
Yeah.
very interesting. ISDM can give you inspiration, and you can just put that on the top of your sheet to say just one inspiration.
okay.
And what this means is whenever you roll a d20 and you don't like the result of the die, you can expend the inspiration and re-roll it.
And reroll. Okay.
And then you don't have to keep the second roll. You get to choose which roll you want.
Okay.
The first one or the second.
Okay.
So you have inspiration already.
Do I have to roll to use the spell?
Which one? No,
The
you
mask.
don't.
Okay.
It just happens.
Okay, so-
yeah. You just see 1 minute, Mordok is next to you. Next minute, it's Emmy.
I swear it's the mushroom.
Harper seems to believe that ever since she gave you those mushrooms, you've just been casting magic left and right.
Okay. That's fun. So yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot you don't know I can do that. So then I do that.
Yeah, so
Your minds are blown.
yeah, right now it's just like, oh my god, these things. I shouldn't be selling these things.
But I think as Mordok, he
No, you should sell them for a higher price.
Mordok does not care that what is happening thank you, is
Can I have one also?
Mordok isn't even thinking of the fact that you don't even know he can do this or how you're feeling. It's just happening.
It just happened. Okay. So you three walk upstairs. You can see that rooms, that there are maybe about there are about 7 rooms in total, bordering the entirety of this place. And you know that the second floor, though they have a wide opening over here, sort of bulges outwards because of sort of the second floor, which is essentially a ship that they've planted on top of a building. Essentially, so stone foundations, ship on top. So the second floor actually bulges outwards to create the rooms that you see up here. So while this bottom floor is smaller, it's wider out there, the second floor. But it has the opening. You walk up over here, you see about 7
What's
rooms.
your last name?
1,
Damon.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Okay.
So if you like go upstairs, you can see all of the rooms, like the doors of the rooms.
You just see the doors of the rooms. Walls and doors, essentially. But you can see that there are...
But we can look down. Are the rooms on the outside?
The rooms are on
And
the
it's
outside.
like almost a complete circle.
Can they see us? Yes.
Now, there's a significant walkway over here. There's a lot of room. I mean, you guys could walk like 4 abreast and still have space between you guys. So the walkway is pretty large. And you can see that it's much dimmer up here. The light is sort of downcast a little bit. You can, off in the distance, maybe Grail and Harper, you might notice like a couple of lovers have sort of taken a shady spot up here just to sort of make out.
Now, is the wall separating this area? Is it
There's a snake back in the
complete?
room.
Is
Oh,
it
yeah,
a
actually,
complete
yeah,
wall,
there's-
or is it
there's a
slats?
player
Can you
named
see
Sibilant.
through the wood? That is the wall separating.
Yeah, there's
Sort of
a
like
player.
this.
Like that.
I think he's English.
Except the space in between the bars, maybe about
Parang
half
4
a
years na daw na dito.
about 6
I got
inches.
the name.
How tall is a goblin?
The vampire
A
diary.
goblin is only about 3 4 feet maximum.
Shorter than
Yeah,
the
Shorter.
yeah.
Right now, actually, without even having to make a perception check, you can see the green little goblin sitting right here.
Oh, so-
He is sitting with his legs poking out the slats,
Okay.
and he's holding on to the bars, and you can see that he's just sort of swaying his legs as he's listening to the music.
Okay. So I think what so we see him, and I think what we need to draw him to us to take his eyes off of. I keep forgetting her name. What's the Emmy? And since he's the handyman, maybe we could do something to the. I can make doors open and close by themselves.
Yeah.
So maybe we can break or make a door open or dim the lights or do something to draw him closer to us to think that I have then just come up that I'm the real Emmy just coming up the stairs.
Let's take a look at the thaumaturgy.
Yeah, just pulled it
I
up.
just need to know the range.
It is 30 feet.
Okay, 30 feet. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, you have to be pretty close. You can only properly affect maybe the 2 doors that are here.
Okay.
And only if they're unlocked.
Oh.
Oh, right.
Dang.
You can't unlock, just open. You just,
Yeah.
You can only open and close unlocked doors.
Okay.
Grail? Basically, Mordok is trying to temporarily get Crowell's eyes off of the center. Because Emmy is standing right there, and right now, Mordok looks exactly like Emmy. So if he is looking down and seeing Emmy, and he turns around and sees Emmy, you're out. But Mordok wants to try and open and close the door to like slam it to like get his attention. But
Can
problem
you
is
sneak up and see if any doors are open? Do you have good stealth?
very good stuff.
Can you sneak and see if any one of these 2 doors is open? And then you tell us, and then we'll open it to draw the attention away. And then I don't want to say kill them, but we stuff them in the closet.
Oh my God! Oh
Okay, we're nice to them. We just draw them in. Okay.
We'd be hiding in the room where that unlocked door is, over there is.
Well, if we play it right, we don't have to harm them. I don't want to harm them, but I'm just saying, if we need to. But I think first we need to see if the door is open. Can you see if the door is open?
So he's asking you to sneak up to find out if the door is open. Sneak up because you don't want Crowell to turn around prematurely and see you. You're still under the effects of pass without a trace, so whatever you roll is plus 10.
Plus 10 plus
15.
Plus 15 total.
17 total.
2? You rolled a 2? Oh, 17 does it.
Okay.
He's pretty distracted. Yeah, you just walk up.
As long as it does it anyways.
Yeah. So yeah, you're like, you put a foot forward, that floorboard creaks, and you're like, "Argh!" And you wait for it, but Crowell doesn't turn around, and you just keep going a little bit. There are 2 doors before you. You test them both. For the first door, roll a D100. D100 is a percentile die. This is basically, I'm testing to see if the door was locked or unlocked.
So
Considering the
roll
chances.
those two at the same time.
Why do you want to do it?
Percentile dice. This is the percent chance that this particular door is unlocked.
Okay.
So you read that's A.
77. Okay, this door is unlocked.
Okay. Now we need
Yeah,
to.
you come in and you're like, okay, unlocked. And just sort of standing at the door, covering one ear to try and blot out the noise going on below, and you have a good listen. Doesn't sound like anyone's in there.
Do you report? Do you come back to us? Do you sneak back to us and tell us?
I throw off a hand signal, show you that it's open.
All right. So then we. I tell you telepathically what I'm going to do, and we get the door to open and close, hoping to draw the attention of the goblin away from the floor plan.
Okay, get to here.
So you guys duck back
I
into the
don't think so
stairwell,
because we're downstairs.
and then you.
I'm leading the party as
basically.
Emmy.
As Emmy, okay.
And then you two, and then Harper should be behind me, followed by Grail.
Okay,
So we were hiding in the stairwell this whole time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Up until you left to try and poke around. Yeah. So you reach out with your power.
I'm not in this picture. Sorry.
You reach out with your power and then just sort of pull on the door, just in wherever direction it opens. It seems to open inwards. So you see the door sort of jiggle a little bit, and then pow pow, it just slams against the back of the wall, coming back closed. Does it a couple more times, and then you can. Are you out of the stairwell? No.
I'm leading the party, and we're almost.
Are you visible? No.
No, I'm not visible.
Okay. So you don't know what happens.
No.
You just hear the door slam and open and close, and then you see Crowell walk up to it. Before we pick up there, let's hop back down to the first floor. First floor, what's happening?
This is exciting. I need to know what's happening on the top floor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, is the fight happening?
So-
Is the 7-foot cybernetic metal wooden monster going to destroy people?
Please, Bayan. No, just kidding.
There is a saying in D&D which goes by never split the party.
No.
Because most of the time, if you get into trouble and you're not with the whole party, you're probably gonna die. But in this case, maybe it might have been needed. Stefan, Rose, what are you doing? Will all this go down?
Still thinking. What
Are they off me or since?
Did you disengage?
Yeah, just enough to get them.
Okay, yeah, they're off you.
Yeah, I just picked up one up and then put him back on his chair.
Yeah. One by one, you pick them up and then you like seat them back down, tap them on the head. Go
Well,
ahead.
perhaps.
Go ahead.
Perhaps
and
on
make,
another day.
Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw, as Grung are poisonous to the touch.
What's gonna happen?
I'm might get poisoned
Contact poison.
by the ground. By the
You're immune to
people.
disease, right? Not poison.
I have advantage on. It's a 15. That was a 15.
Oh, you have advantage against poison? Cool.
Advantage saving throws.
Nice.
That was a 15. Sorry.
Someone like
19 total.
Yeah, no problem. You sit them down. The contact poison affects the wooden organic parts of you, and you begin to sort of like feel this tingling that goes up your limbs. But you're like, and you sort of one by one you peel them off you. You sit them down, give them a pat on the head, up until all of them are seated back at the table, and then you walk away as if nothing happened.
Yeah, and I look at the rotten wood that got affected by the poison. I'm in need of some repairs. And then if I see that this is a livelier table, I'm going to approach there, and then and just stand there
Awkwardly.
and then greetings. This seems to
Leering over the table.
yeah, greetings. This seems to be a more amiable table. And then I look pointedly at the ground, and then
Crowell cocks an eyebrow at Crowell. Cornelia cocks an
I say,
eyebrow.
I greet Captain. We've spoken before.
He says, "I forget. Does your kind drink?"
I say, we do not need to imbibe, though I would wish to join the merriment.
He says, "Sure." She kicks off her first mate over here, and then
Yay!
she like almost literally kicks him off the chair, off the stool, and he has to like struggle to get away before she does, and makes room for you as you sit at your table. The two of you now there. Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw. You've been drinking this whole time.
yeah.
I wave awkwardly at Stefan, pretending that we don't know each other.
What is that? Perception?
Constitution.
+2.
20.
20? Oh, damn! Yeah, you're like, he is grinning like a fool. Like, I'm really good at this. As you are continuing to imbibe. Zane, you can see, is starting to get a little frayed. He's starting to get a little frustrated. Like, how many more am I going to buy? He's not going down yet. So he just keeps calling the drinks up until you can see that the entire table is lined with a variety of different types of drinks, different colors and sizes. As he says, Stefan, before the night is over, we will make it to the end of the table. And by then, my hope is that you'll be under it. And so you can very much see that Zane intends to drink you under the table. And
Can
is there anything you guys are trying to do at this
Yeah, I want to check if Cornelia is getting tipsy,
Are you pushing drinks to her?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead first
Got it.
and make Are you trying to do it very sneakily?
Are you trying to get her drunk?
Yeah.
Are you being obvious about it?
No.
No. Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check. Basically, you just sort of casually like pushing a drink over, or maybe like nudging her to toast with you. I'll say go ahead and make it an advantage because you've been keeping up so well.
Okay.
She's
Is she
like,
getting? Oh, we don't know if she's getting drunk yet.
well, we're about to see.
I feel like she's gonna be like Miriam from the Indiana Jones movies. How she's the
Because I
one
get to pick what's the
drinks
highest.
everyone under the table.
What happened? Yeah. No, 6 and 9. Okay.
12. Okay. I'll say that that's just enough, maybe, to just get her to match your drink for drink. She's gonna go ahead and make just one Constitution saving throw. Okay. She doesn't seem to be getting drunk just yet, but if you so desire, I will match you drink for drink. Until one of you gets drunk.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I would love that.
Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no!
Please. 20, natural 20.
Nice.
My God.
This is really
On the
lucky.
road.
You just won't get drunk.
High tolerance.
Good job.
Maximum high tolerance.
Okay. She still looks fine. Keep going again.
Okay.
While this is happening, I want to see how the rest of the crew are reacting to Stefan's presence and me barging in.
Oh, they're very amused. They're very amused.
Alcoholic 42.
Well, this is the table you probably sat down with the most because they're the ones that really just don't mind you coming and sitting down. Go ahead and make another constitution save.
Are we still hiding on the stairwell this whole time?
What?
This is happening
because
simultaneously.
this is- yeah.
Basically, as you're doing all that, this is happening.
11 plus
11 plus 2.
Okay.
13.
13. Okay. You're starting to get a little bit buzzed, but you can see that she's progressing faster than you. Just a little bit. One more.
Yeah, last one.
Good.
Me.
Make it good.
Yeah, 19 plus
Plus 2.
21.
Okay. Good. Now you can. I mean, she's not exactly drunk, but she's pretty loud now. Like intolerably loud. You're right next to her, and she's sort of screaming in your face whenever he's talking. Like she's trying to talk over music, but it's not that loud. You can definitely hear it. And you can see that she's a little rosy at this point.
Stefan, maybe you could get her to slip into something
Yeah.
about the resistance again.
Resistance of the what?
Slip into something more comfortable.
Get her to say something.
Slip into something more comfortable.
About
Get her to say something. Step up and down. Something about the resistance, what her allegiances are.
like about if she knows about someone who knows who's licking.
Anything.
Yeah, she said I wasn't there earlier, but you asked her about the yuan-ti earlier, right?
Yeah.
But she was lying about it.
Try to get her to divulge a bit more.
Okay, so I want to ask her if she knows something about like the wait, what do you call that? The spies.
Here's. I want to ask specifically how you ask her and how you word it, because the wording might be very important, and how you ask her might be very important. Because though you have been getting her pretty tipsy, I don't think you've been focusing on everyone at the table, and there are about 3 other people at this table with you.
She hasn't been what? He hasn't been what? Focusing on.
The other 3 people at the table. There are 3 other crewmates at the same table, sitting and drinking with you. But Stefan has been focusing on getting her drunk. So the others might not be as drunk as she is, and depending on what she does or doesn't know, specific wordings might set her off or bring her to clarity.
Yeah.
Like for example, if you were kind of tipsy, but then somebody asked, "Are you a spy?" You know, that's it. What's that, John?
Ah, dude.
Guess what?
What do you think?
Sounds like it.
I'm going to.
What? Oh my goodness. Oh well, I'm just gonna.
Scream, "Viva resistance!"
Oh my god!
That's all for orders.
Isa pa po niyan, tsaka isa pang beer.
Okay, so well, what was I saying? I forgot. So wait, I really forgot what I was saying.
Oh, you wanted to ask
I know, no.
not in a
I know, I remember. So, I told her, I'm getting drunk and I got no place to say. I'm just like giving the motive, saying like I want to stay somewhere.
You're trying to get her to accommodate,
Like to
you
persuade
at
her.
room.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. Okay, sure. It's going to be pretty hard,
Yeah.
but let's go ahead and say a persuasion check. But I have to ask you what the tone of the request is. Is it
Like
nagmamakaawa?
not really. I'm just faking that I'm drunk. Like I'm getting drunk.
Okay,
It's like faking.
I think the DC might be a little bit high because number one, she's a pirate. Number two, she's more likely to just leave you on the table drunk.
Yeah, that's fine.
And also, it's not that. But if you roll high enough, she might find piece of you. You get into her good graces.
What is it called? I don't know. Charm person.
Charm person, you want to do that now?
No, because
After an hour, they find out.
yeah, they'll find out that they've been charmed.
But you can. I mean, that will certainly help right now.
Well, yeah, I think I'll use charm person.
Interesting. Go ahead.
Anyway,
Somebody update. What's happening? Something very exciting.
What's happened?
Captain Cornelia the Red is getting pretty tipsy, and Stefan over here just is trying to coax her to accommodate him in her rooms.
Oh.
And he's gonna cast a spell. He's gonna cast Charm Person on her.
Now, the thing about Charm Person is that at the end of an hour,
they'll find.
the spell ends and they know they've been tricked.
Okay.
So basically, he's tipping his hand.
Okay. If we attack her under the spell, just curious. If we attack her under the spell,
Go ahead.
does the spell wear off?
No.
Are you open to?
Oh, no.
Is her?
If you or any of your companions are fighting it, I don't know. I don't know. Actually, once it's cast, it's cast.
And I'm just talking here. When they're under that spell, do they lose any of their ability or skill points or anything?
Like when they're under that spell?
Yeah. Do they? No. So normal. Do they fight back if they're under that spell? I'm just.
It has no.
Because if you bring her in there and it's about to wear off and nothing's happened and she's going to attack you, are you going to
Basically,
take her out?
in your head, you know that your timer's running.
Yeah.
And so you will know when it comes out. But you know that she's going to be pretty pissed at you in the next hour.
Yeah, we only got like an hour to do such things because it's gonna come up like after an hour.
So you're charming her
Yeah.
romantically.
Because
And magically.
I want to know what's happening upstairs too.
Okay. Alright. So you cast Charm Person on her. Go ahead and just make a sleight of hand. Because each spell has a component.
Okay.
There are three types of components. A verbal component, this will apply to you too, Christian.
Yeah.
A verbal component, which is the magic words that you must speak. A somatic component, which is the magic gesture that you must perform. And the material component, which is the material which you must produce to effect the spell. Now, most material components can be bypassed with your arcane focus or your component power. This has no component. This has no material components. You're fine. What it does have is a verbal component, which requires you to speak a magic spell, and a somatic component, which requires you to make a weird gesture with your hand, which is kind of obviously magical. You're sitting at the same table as her. You're about to whisper a word, and you have to make a magical gesture. So go ahead and make a sleight
So
of hand.
this is like the this is like the not verbal. This is the gesture, like the charm.
Yes, the verbal component is a magic word.
Okay.
It can't be masked.
Okay, so
I mean, you outwardly have to say abracadabra, which becomes immediately obvious. You're casting a spell.
Okay.
Right?
So you better make this.
Yeah. So if you don't make this, she will be successfully charmed by you, but her compatriots will know or see that you cast it.
Oh.
Do I see him starting to?
Can
Is
you
he revving up to? cast magic? Do I recognize it?
Yeah, I mean,
Can
you're
you
knowledgeable.
entice her away from the table?
Well,
In that case, I'm going to stand up. I'm going to get on the table, and I'm going to play my kalimba. It's attached on my arm, so
So fucking random.
so that they will be like,
Yeah, as soon as you begin to sort of cast your spell,
I
plunk, she
Yeah,
like stands on this table and begins to
yeah, my
rock out.
one eye will see that he's casting his magic, and then as in the milliseconds that I'm thinking, and then the only thing I can think of is that
But you're doing this.
I'm doing something.
yeah, is so anyway, I honestly can't think of anything else, so I'm just going to
Distract
go for it.
the
And
other
then,
people.
I have the metal plugs are just attached, and press a button, and then ching, the metal forks are
That's what it's called, kalimba.
kalimba,
Pretty catchy.
and then
Wasn't
and
that an
then.
instrument? Is the kalimba the thing with the little
It's like a
metal
xylophone
holes?
that you sort of
Yeah, with your
pluck.
fingers.
But it has metal prongs, and then you make.
There's like 6 of them.
And then,
You would
I'll
know
make
what it is. I'll
since
show
they're
you.
both my hand and the prongs are metal, so I just make.
Go ahead and make your sleight of hand check at an advantage because of the distraction.
I did an advantage, so let's like 2.
Two, pick the higher.
Yeah. I don't have spells or anything.
So that's
18.
Okay, no problem. It's so disruptive that they can't even hear you going as they just begin to clamor and yeah, your spell takes effect and you can feel it. You feel it catch on her mind and you now have charmed her magically. What this means is that all of your all of your charisma checks with her are now at an advantage for the next hour. So go ahead and make your persuasion check now at an advantage or lower the DC.
What are you making?
Persuasion check.
20.
Dang, son.
Damn son.
Yo, that's crazy.
Literally on
Get there. Mushroom dice, man.
Yeah. So she just says, "Oh, you little bastard." She says, "Yeah, you should crash with me." Now,
I'm glad my music has helped you
Saying that in song. I'm glad.
but basically I'm glad my music has helped make the mood more romantic.
okay. Now she says, "You can come up after you're fucking dead drunk," and then she continues to ply you with drinks. Go ahead and make constitution save.
Shit, man.
Do you need to start? Did she say you can come up when you're drunk?
Sorry.
Did you say you can come up when he's drunk?
At this point, the DC has been getting higher and higher and higher because of the number of drinks that you put up. So finally, a 14 will not make it. At this point, you're intoxicated, but because you're intoxicated, she says, "Okay, that's enough for you. You should probably go." Because you're intoxicated or considered poisoned, this means is that all of your checks and attacks are now at a disadvantage.
I did a disadvantage.
In terms of your charisma checks with her, because they're always advantage, they cancel out, and so you should go normal.
Okay.
But you're drunk. She's absolutely going to take you upstairs. Before that, second
Okay,
floor.
now before that, all right, bath. Things are getting crazy. Okay, so we've gotten the goblin to the door. Is he in the room or is he outside of the room? Or all we know he's out of eyesight of down.
You could probably see him from the stairwell. You can see him just beginning to like poke at the door, and it sort of swings open
So-
into the darkness.
I think our plan of action is we lead the group to the goblin, and then I have to hopefully deceive the goblin with my voice. Now, but I have a +5. But meanwhile, all this chaotic kalimba playing is going on, so maybe we can use it as to our advantage. And I also have an inspiration for a reroll, but we have to hope that the goblin
Inspiration.
believes that I am Emmy, and then I will ask the goblin to take you to the office But what sort of excuse could we use?
Signing
To go
of a
into
contract.
to go into the
Make
office.
Yeah.
supplies.
Contract signing.
Okay, contract signing. But do I need to be there? Can I leave? Can I
Yeah.
leave you too, or do you? Is there? Do you want us three to go, or do we want me to come back down and be Mordok here, and you two be alone?
Maybe you could wait somewhere near the stairwell just to see if somebody's coming up.
Okay.
We could work up a signal.
Wait, so who's lying to the goblin?
So I'm going to be lying to the goblin because I am Emmy right now, and I'm going to have to deceive the goblin. But I don't know if it's prudent for all three of us to go into the office together.
All right. You can.
So maybe I could say, please take them to the office for they need to drop something off. I guess if it was contract signing, I would probably need to be there, but you two have high perception, so you'd be able to see.
Maybe you can tell the goblin you can't accompany the whole party to the office because something crazy is happening down there.
Oh yeah. But we need the goblin to open the door. Do we because what if the door to the office is locked?
Also, you can't send the goblin downstairs because the real Emmy's
Real
here.
Emmy's downstairs.
Oh, yeah.
Real Emmy hasn't moved yet.
I mean, you can just consider he's sort of walking around,
Okay.
Yeah, busy.
busy at the table.
What I was saying was that the excuse you could give to the goblin is that things are getting crazy down there, so you can't really accompany Harper and I to the office. So you're asking the goblin for help.
Oh, so I can't take them. Take them to the office.
Yeah.
So they can. But then what are they going to do in the office? Though?
Wait for you, maybe.
What sort of thing?
Wait for you, maybe when you're done.
Okay. All right, we could do that. All right. So so Mordok leads the group to the goblin, and we then. I tell the goblin to take these two to the office and wait for me to come to them, but to let them into the office, and then wait for me to come to them.
May I ask how you are masking your incredibly masculine voice?
Well, I'm using my. I'm gonna have to deceive.
Perfect.
My
Okay.
deception.
I just needed to know exactly what you were
We're
doing.
gonna use deception.
Okay, go ahead and make a deception check.
I'm gonna try to assist by saying, "Oh, hi, Cloud. You remember me? How was the mushrooms that I picked?" So it's
Oh,
just
so you're like
trying to-
interrupting
Yeah.
while I'm talking? Ooh,
To
okay.
the pitch that he is weakest.
Okay, all right. So go ahead
Can
and
you
roll.
introduce me as the protege of the mushroom?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's like keeping quiet the whole time.
With shade.
Yeah, you should do the introducing of who this is. I should say,
Yeah.
I should say, take these two, and you're like, this is.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is- yeah.
I want to do the minimal talking because I'm.
I'm gonna let you go ahead and roll at advantage because Harper is assisting you.
Okay.
The DC will still be reasonably high,
Yeah.
but I think you probably make it.
Okay. Here we go. 6. So
That's
11.
that die.
But I get to do it again, right? Oh, it's 9. Is that 9 or 6?
That's a 9.
9.
Ah, sorry. Oh, that's a 6.
Okay.
The
So
bar or
11,
the dot should be.
But I get to do it again, right? Okay. 12, 17.
Okay, 17.
17.
So you can see that while you're speaking, at first at surprise, basically when the goblin turns around to see you there, his eyes go wide. But as he sees that it's Emmy, you see his eyes get smaller and smaller and smaller until he's sort of like a cat, closed eyes, and just sort of with a soft smile, just sort of nodding along as he speaks. Yeah, and then so he doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
He sort of agrees to everything that you're saying, and then walks a bit, just looks back to see if you're following, and then keeps going.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we'll
So
follow
then those
more
two,
people.
so you two,
We'll follow the goblin.
you two follow, and then I think I should get out of the Emmy the Emmy disguise.
Yeah, you can
because
drop.
because as they're walking, the wall is like that, so he could see down there.
You can drop and then
Yeah.
like stall,
So,
like in case someone tries
I
to
can
come
go
up.
down.
you can
I'm gonna
stall
go
them.
down the okay. I'm gonna go down the stairs, and as I'm going down, I turn back to Mordok.
Oh,
So it's just me and Harper with the goblin.
And now that I'm close, but you're drunk, so
Yeah.
maybe me telling you in your mind won't really register
I'm still
of what's
there.
going on.
it will. I mean,
Well, but in different.
The responsibility.
Yeah, but now he's drunk. He could be thinking
That's just.
that's his
That's just the
drunk.
beer talking.
That's the beer talking. Yeah.
And it sounds like more doctor.
Yeah. So I tell you what's going on. What's happening upstairs.
okay.
Now, I would love to tell you, but I'm going to pretend that you're obviously drunk now.
Where did they go?
So what's going to happen right
Is he
now?
visibly drunk too?
The goblin there.
He's Rayan.
Okay.
He is talking unusually loud for Stefan,
Okay.
who you know is shy.
Okay.
So that's your first clue.
Okay.
Harper and Grail that walk all the way to the office on the other side, basically. Brought along the entire thing. You can see that Crowell just brings out a jangle of keys, and goes through individual keys in his ring. And though they seem seemingly identical to each other, he manages to pick out the one, and he puts that into the lock. He unlocks it, lets you guys through. You enter the office. The office is small but clean. Certainly as large as any of the other rooms on this floor, but sort of converted to a room.
Does Crowell go inside with us?
No,
He stands by the door.
no. He lets you in. Once you've sat down, closes the door behind you. He seems to have left the room. Unless you open the door, you're not entirely sure when he's gone.
Right. Small room, you were saying.
Meantime, you're still conscious, and so Zane has thrown you over his shoulder, and Cornelia is leading the way up, passing Mordok just as he finishes turning into Mordok,
Yeah.
and she just looks at you, and I'm a freak, as she walks past you, pushing past you, pretty rough like. Only Zane and Cornelia the Red. Her other two crewmates still drinking at the place. Are you still here?
With her goblin.
With your kalimba?
Where's Stefan?
Sure.
They're gonna go
upstairs.
upstairs. I give you a nice little good job, buddy. Tip of the hat again. And you're
Are you
like,
still here?
Sure.
If I see him coming down,
I see Mordok coming down.
Can I fill you in? I fill you in what's happening.
I guess I'll just excuse myself clumsily and loudly.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me, please, but then try to inconspicuously regroup with Mordok.
Okay.
Right.
Hey, you have like -8, -1 card.
Has Mordok come back down for swords?
Cornelia,
Yeah. I'm at the base.
And
Like,
then-
I'm
and
assuming
then
there's a wall near the
If
stairs.
if I'm with him now, I'm going to fill him in and tell him that Stefan might have a very good night tonight. But basically, I tell you that
Aren't we all?
Stefan seems to have managed to
What drew us together?
magically beguile the captain of the Reds.
The Reds, yeah.
so Cornelia, Zane, and Stefan.
Oh, perhaps is your telepathy within range? Perhaps you can warn. Oh no, wait. You can. Oh no. Since they're also coming up.
To warn
then
them?
Oh, right, but you're out of range.
Yeah, I'm probably, well, I may not be out of range because they're there. It's 5, 10, 15, 20,
But it's
25.
Can you go
going
through
up?
walls? Could you just,
Doesn't, I don't think it's said. I don't think it,
Well, anyway, I just say that they are heading up to their quarters, perhaps.
well, I think you have to see them. I think it's in sight.
oh,
let's check real quick.
it's side. All
Yeah, I
right.
think I have to be able to
Okay.
see them to do it. If I remember correctly, but
It's
probably
an
not.
old notebook.
Yeah, that's true. Any creature that you can see within 30 feet of you.
Oh, so you need to see
You can
it.
see.
Check.
Thank you.
That's pretty good though.
Okay. Nachos.
Okay, matches round.
I'm sure. Thank you.
Okay. Cool.
So,
Stefan, you get thrown onto a bed. A bed. Oh,
Wait, the well-dressed man is with them?
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's take note.
Just there to watch.
Let's take note that it's like 4 p.m.
Wow. Where'd you
nothing wrong with that.
Some day drinking.
day drinking?
Yeah, I forgot it is like afternoon.
I thought it was like-
right now.
No,
Sad.
you decided to try and drink it under the table in the afternoon. Cornelia.
Always the nobles loving it up.
Cornelia basically just takes her shirt off, and you can see that she has trappings underneath. Just falls face down in her bed, right across from you. You're in the same room. Zane settles into your same bed.
Oh, there's a tripod.
You're gonna roll at a disadvantage, man.
What will I do?
So is she passed out or did she just?
Yeah.
Seems to be.
Okay.
Zane seems to just be. At the moment, you can hear him just sort of drunkenly whistling.
Is he more drunk than me?
That's hard to gauge.
Is Zane? Have we determined if Zane is her right hand man?
Yeah.
Wait, so in one bed it's Cornelia, and in the other bed it's you and Zane?
Stefan and Zane.
Do you? Maybe it's an opportunity to question Zane
Yeah. You can also again for that.
because if
I
she's
can ask him.
passed
hand
out
right,
at this
yeah.
point, and Zane comes up, maybe
Drunk.
they're obviously close.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Maybe you could question or intimidate or
So
tie up
Zane,
or
Although how you ask.
take your shirt off.
We don't know how. We don't know which way Zane swings.
We don't know.
yeah. I mean, he looks like a handsome man, but many handsome men like other men.
Yeah, you know.
So it's okay.
You seem to be of the same breed. You're both nobly dressed.
No, it just asks Zane if he swings resistance or yuan-ti.
Yeah.
Where do you swing, Zane? Men, I mean.
Who was there?
Okay.
Well,
You have an idea of what you want to do with him?
It's all up to you now.
no, not yet.
That's
Not
how
yet.
you want to ask.
So I'll come back to you.
Okay.
Grail
You can-
and oh wait, before I go to Grail and Harper, Morlock and Rose.
Okay, well, more or less we're not.
So we did something to pull Rose away from the table. Maybe I did a magic trick or something. And then you filled me in what's happening. So now,
Yeah, but I do say that he got drunk and.
yeah, I don't think we should pursue any other avenues at this time. But we are next to the big guy.
Yeah,
So maybe I can go over and try and engage him into one of my magic tricks.
Oh, yeah.
Or
Sorry, which big guy are we talking about?
I think it would have been
It was Dubok.
Dubok.
It's Dubok.
He's
I
the
say,
largest orc.
yes, I've
So maybe
attempted
we
to
could.
speak with him for several days. Perhaps you might have better luck than me.
Let me see what I can.
And I say, for some reason they do not like talking to me.
And I take out card. Let me see what I can do. And I go over and I guess we just go for it. And I try and do a magic trick to draw in this giant orc in his minion posse and just begin to engage them as you are behind me observing. Maybe just seeing what's happening.
Since you're doing a magic trick, Rose gonna attempt to assist you with random prestidigitation, so random tiny fireworks, but they're completely off. Like when you're doing your card trick, it's 2 seconds too late. And,
Spells to die,
yeah.
tiny fireworks.
But the urban stream, in no way.
Ta-da!
And then I just work. Well, I've never really rehearsed performances. I simply have magic for utility, but it's off timing with. It's off the timing of your cards.
You struggle, but go ahead and make a
Okay,
performance.
so Mordok, thinking, not knowing much of orcs, looks at this big guy and says, he's probably not smart, let me do something, let me make something vanish, so that way I can use my deception. Can I use my deception or my sleight of hand?
I'd say sleight of hand, maybe.
Sleight of hand, okay. So then we'll do a trick just to see what's going to happen, just to start something.
Sure.
Okay, so I roll. Okay. 20.
Oh!
20 plus 4, 24.
Wait, 20. What is this
With
like?
the late
Sleight of hand
okay,
is 4. So I have a 24, and and so I perform this trick, and then the fireworks go
Delayed 2
fizzle
seconds.
out.
Yeah, delayed 2 seconds.
What happens?
So he goes in perfect common, unaccepted at all. Says, neat. Can you do that with yourself?
Can you what?
Do that with yourself.
Can I do that with myself? And I say, hey, hey, weren't you impressed? How about some coins, sir? Come on, the show's not free. Buy me a drink.
He says, you'd be lucky to buy your life at this very moment. I would say you buy me a drink, and then you can sit down.
All right, then so Mordok motions for Emmy, or for Emmy, because Emmy's just walking around. 2 ales, please.
So the person that serves you, Rose, you probably recognize. One, Buford, one of the barmen.
Okay, what is he like?
Like, much like Kristen. One of the blank-faced, quiet, monotone individuals walk up and say, what will it be?
Are they under a spell?
Yeah, I think there's something fishy. Hello, Buford. You are back with your emotionless face and unaccommodating greeting. What shall we have again, Mordok?
3 ales,
3 ales, please, Buford.
On whose tab?
And then I'll say, just put it on Mordok's tab. Sherwin knows about it.
Very well. And he just turns around. Comes back at the ales later.
If I've seen him around,
There's something fishy.
is it-
These
does it look strange or
Maybe they're
do they
brothers
look?
and sisters. Like
And then
that.
they're like, are they? Is that a natural boredom or disinterest or dissatisfaction with their job or?
Go ahead and make an insight check.
Insight? Well, I have Arcana. Do they look like they're under spell?
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
You can instead say, does it feel like a magical effect?
Okay, yeah, sorry. Okay. Maybe that's it. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna try that
Are
then.
they like that? Or
I checked that.
Well, what is it?
Arcana.
Arcana.
It's nothing like that. This time she's checking.
15.
15? Very possible. I mean, you know several spells that do that sort of thing. While it's not impossible that it's natural, it's very possible that it's magical.
It's not. Okay.
It doesn't negate either side, but it's entirely possible that it's magical.
I just look at Mordok and shrug mechanically.
because you don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. It's
yeah.
okay.
I mean, unless there's a literal spell called detect magic, so you could theoretically, if any of you could cast that,
I don't have detect magic.
Do you have
so-
that? Do you have that?
I mean, yeah. Actually, we could easily solve
take
that
it?
little question
Yeah.
with them, but
Really have to bring
You
that
know who
up.
has it? Harper.
Well, maybe she's going to detect magic in the office right now. Some shit's going down in
But
this
she
office.
doesn't know about it because you can
And-
talk to her.
Yeah, we can't talk to her.
No more
Well, we get,
telepathy.
yeah.
So you sit down, assuming that you sort of you grease the wheels to get yourself sat down. He sits you down right next to the orc female.
Oh.
Okay.
She is maybe twice as thick around as you. Your head maybe the size of her bicep.
Okay.
Sorry.
Mordok sees the position he's in and just takes one for the team and starts to persuade the female orc just to see what their travels have been. And as we're asking questions, I bring up the yuan-ti.
Okay. All right. In terms of trying to like gauge their
But as
their feelings on it?
as a persuasion of my charisma, just being a general affable.
Okay.
What is this
Tiefling
female
male.
orc doing now? Is she still grabbing food?
Yeah. Okay. Now, the social structure of this table is obviously very different from Cornelia's table. You get a good sense that it's going to take an orthodox display to try and get these people to open up to you.
Okay.
The orcs.
Okay. Do I need to? So I just know that, or do I roll?
You
a
would know.
perception?
You would know that.
Okay.
You would
Okay.
notice that.
Okay.
Your regular tricks don't register. The only reason that the Orog was even amused by that is because he's smart enough to think on that level. Right. But culturally, magic's shit.
Or they Cetas?
Yeah, Cetas.
Yes.
Right. These are orcs.
Okay.
So he's the only
They respect
Orog.
strength, power, that sort of.
So they're not amused by parlor tricks.
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
then,
I mean, your persuasion check. Basically, what I'm saying is that your persuasion check will only become allowed once you've appropriately displayed
Okay.
something for them.
Okay. So let me
You've
look
won
at
them over.
this. Let me
You've
see
made
what-
them available to be persuaded.
Let me look at
Okay.
see
Go
what
ahead
my
and go with that.
telemergy can-
We're going to go over to.
okay.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not very strong, but how do you, like, I could attempt an arm wrestle.
I'm wrestling.
And something like now that we are seated at your table, perhaps we could exchange some stories. Perhaps we could exchange some stories of our adventures. We can play a little game of strength.
You see that a couple of them begin to sort of like elbow each
Classic
other.
game of strength.
He says,
Who are you challenging here again?
I don't know.
We don't know. We're just at a table
I have
of
zero
orcs.
strength.
so Dubok says, yes, strength, I've heard of this game. You can see that he's being quite sarcastic.
It's like
He's smart enough to know sarcasm. So he,
I just look at him straight and I'll say, oh, you have you?
he says,
Most excellent.
he turns to one of his posse. He goes,
like
Zug Zug.
11 plus
Rest of
Zug?
them.
1, 13, 14.
Zug Zug.
You're gonna get
I like that name.
Yeah,
you're
it's
gonna
like
get
that.
beat by a guy named Zuzu.
So Zug Zug sits across from you, moving you aside.
And I guess we.
Thumps a meaty arm down on the table.
Okay,
Ready.
I'll do the same on the other hand.
Okay, so now at this point we make contested athletics checks. Win 3, win the
I should have made like a straight.
win 3, win the arm wrestle.
Alright.
Am I able to?
I'm just gonna say that I'm not very
Help
strong.
her.
Am I
With
able
power.
to use a? Maybe I couldn't like dumb down a blast to help her move her arm, but maybe I could
Sabotage the other dude.
make him start laughing uncontrollably.
Oh,
Oh,
while
that's
this
idiot.
is happening.
Taunting
Yeah,
in his head.
like Tasha. Well, I can make him laugh, so he can't do anything.
Alright, that's
Okay.
Trash talk Leeward in his head.
But I don't know what our goal. I don't know what our goal is with this guy. I just don't
Well,
want him
you're
to rip
basically
your.
like winning him over.
I don't want him to rip your arm off. Which you have no strength, right?
You have to note that Dubok's last name is Arm Taker.
Okay.
Oh.
So I know.
What?
So do I know that you have very low strength going into it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean average strength. not-
Well,
Nothing, just,
I mean, I'm more than willing to let you do this, but we can take another course of action. So if he's looking for strength
A power.
or
Doesn't necessarily have to
power,
be
I
physical
can
strength.
I can make him as you are about to start your arm wrestling thing.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I don't want to take that fun thing away from you. I can put him
No,
into
it's okay.
an uncontrollable laughing fit where
Yeah.
he can't do anything.
yeah, sure, that's fine.
And
Is it
then
gonna
wait
be-
till he comes out of it.
Is it going to be very obviously magical?
charm person.
You're showing them basically magical prowess.
Well, to do these spells, so to do a spell, I have to do something magical.
I mean, are you trying to make the laugh seem really weird, but not emanating from you? Or are you showing them that I've got magic, I've got power?
Yes. So knowing an orc wants to see power, I'm showing him that I have done something, and I'm making him now not able. As soon as they clasp hands, and as it's happening, I then cause the orc to what's his name again?
Zook zook.
Zook Zook to get into an uncontrollable laughing fit
Okay.
in the middle of the bar.
Okay. Go ahead.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Go
I'm
ahead
fine with
and
that.
first make your athletics check.
Yeah, but we're just
Well,
so he
they're-
wasn't
they're-
impressed with the magic
yeah,
trick,
yeah.
and now I'm
I'm just
trying to
thinking
one
that-
up.
Yeah, I'm just thinking they're also pirates. Pirates don't play. Pirates play dirty, so either is fine with me.
So could you, as you're doing it, can you pin his arm as he's-
13. 13. Yeah, well, yeah. What,
So
what-
as you're doing it, we get him laughing. He loses his strength. You pin his arm, and now he's laughing, and now you won.
So, he rolls an 18 to your 11?
13.
13, okay. So, as soon as you clink arms, he looks like he's really interested in seeing what your machine body can do. But you begin to hear the strain of metal, the scream of metal being twisted out of shape, and you hear the snap of wood, like a branch being torn off a tree. As
I just say,
you
oh.
as it's going all the way down, and he doesn't break eye contact with you
Me
as
too.
he's just looking straight at you, and then he goes,
One.
and he just breaks out laughing as you pin the other direction, and he just goes out of control. As you can see that the woman beside you moved over to this side, and Dubog himself just stand up in surprise as he breaks out in a riot, essentially self-contained as he is incapable of doing anything other than losing his breath to laughter. And you can so choose to end it when you want. You snap it just to show him that you're in control.
Well, we're letting him we're letting him writher in laughter as I sip my beer and as you collect your arm back.
I just crack
into
my
position.
arm back. That was, and I'll just say, interesting turn of events.
And I give a little rib cage poke to the orc female next to me, and then I look at him and I bring him back.
He stops and he stands in anger. He draws his cutlass ready to go at it, and Dubok just raises a hand, and he's sort of forced to stay back as waiting for Dubok's reaction to all of this, and he eyes you carefully, and he looks with the female first to sort of register it, and she sort of nods her head very
Mordok is
discreetly.
just drinking.
And he tells he speaks in Orcish, but it seems that the gist of it is fucking sit your ass down. And the orc, disgruntled, has to zug basically has to, sits at the end of the table, sits as far away as he can from you guys, and he settles back down, grabs another drink, throws something, but Dubok to the two of you goes, what else can you do?
Well, to probe even further, I go. So it seems like you lost that game of strength. Just to stick it a little further in.
Technically true.
Yeah. What else can we do?
So you've sort of opened up the negotiations. You know that orcs respect strength. You know,
Yeah.
they're not embarrassed to lose. You know, as long as they've gone at it.
Okay.
They're irritated when they think you've cheated, but it doesn't seem that. But since Dubok isn't like a regular orc, he's an
Okay.
Orog. He's smarter.
Yeah, he
He knows about magic.
He knows
And
about playing there.
so he and he's a pirate plus that.
Yeah.
So he can respect that sort of cheating in his eyes, and so you know you can tell that you're edging him on to sort of friendlier terms, though his tone isn't that.
Okay.
Definitely, he's being measured. He's sort of gauging you essentially as a person. Are you certainly you're ruthless? Are you worthy of being talked to, etc. But out of this conversation, you're trying to gauge his opinion on yuan-ti.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, would I? I'm not sure. Would I have heard anything about? What do I know about the sea tusk? Or are they? Would I know anything else about them?
Sea tusks are
they-
raiders. They're essentially Vikings. They raid villages close to the shore.
Viking. Do I know? Would I be familiar of? Would I have heard of
Greyjoy,
what
House Greyjoy.
they?
Sorry.
Yeah. Would I know what they used to do before
The yuan-ti.
the yuan-ti or
That.
before they joined the resistance?
And they still do that now, except they do that on yuan-ti
So they're
settlements.
privateers also.
They continue to do what they were doing before, but now against the enemy. So between the two of you, so now that you've sort of opened him up, you can now make your persuasion check to get him get his own opinion. I'll say that that Rose is assessing you, so go ahead and make it at advantage.
Okay.
Yeah.
20!
Fuck.
23!
He left.
23. Okay, you're doing very well. Yeah.
Okay.
So are you part of the resistance or part of the resistance?
Yeah, you can. He is irritated quite a bit. Number one, you feel that life. He basically tells you that life has been getting a little much harder for his type of pirate, his type of raider, because the yuan-ti are very well defended. They're quite organized. Unlike the sort of scattered fishing villages that he used to raid previously, these guys actually put up a fight. And while orcs are not averse to fighting, it has been wearing down his crew, and so he comes back to the Bay of Rapiers with fewer and fewer men.
Okay. So he's telling us
telling the
this?
But that's what you glean. He doesn't tell you in exact words,
Yeah.
but as the conversation wears on, that's what you're getting.
Then
Is he
I,
telling the truth?
so
Insight.
I use my awakened mind as this is going, and I tell her what I'm thinking. That he's not part of it.
That he's not.
I don't think he is, right?
He's what?
That he's not the rat.
Oh, okay. Oh, 13.
13, okay. He says that 13 tells you
Insight
that it seems to be pretty accurate. Basically, he's speaking his mind at this moment, so you don't sense any sort of misdirection.
Okay.
Okay.
He asks you first. He says, you're obviously not human.
Yeah, no. I'm definitely red, so I don't look human. But he doesn't. They don't know.
Okay.
necessarily what it is.
Do you have a tail?
Good question. So tieflings have
Typically,
tails?
unless you chopped yours off already. For what
No,
reason.
I have a tail just tucked up in my long pea coat, white coat. It's tucked up. I'm not advertising it, but I'm not hiding it.
Okay.
If you ask, I'll tell, but I'm not presenting.
He says, do you drink?
I do not need to imbibe. I replay my usual answer.
Okay.
I do not need to imbibe, but I wish to join the merriment.
Okay. He says, then another round of drinks for us. And he raises a hand up. The person that approaches him is going to be Buford.
Oh my god.
And as Buford leaves, he says,
Here you go.
"Are all humans so fucking strange?"
I guess I'll say, Captain Dubok, you are here often?
Wait, so Dubak said,
Yeah,
are all
exactly.
humans fucking strange?
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
So,
yeah, we can say something to the like
I've seen more emotion from a horseshoe crab.
I'd say, interesting. I'll say, we have not been here for long. Do you know Buford and the rest of the wait staff? Are they always?
I used to.
Are they always like this? You used
No.
to.
No. My last trip to the mainland, they seemed
Mainland.
like human. They seemed enough. They seemed normal enough, but something must have happened. Now they're all these blank-faced idiots.
yeah, there's something going on in that office.
It's probably the couple.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
No, Dubok makes trips to the mainland.
Oh, yeah.
The trip is a month.
Okay, okay.
So, in a month,
in a span of
the-
time,
In the span of
in a span of time when he's come back, they're now like
and I say, how long have you known the Wendells?
about a year.
About a year. Are they also
But Sherwin never used to be so henpecked.
so
Henpecked.
henpecked?
Henpecked is usually when the wife is
What is henpecked?
Whipped.
What is whip?
Whipped is
I
when
bring
when
out my
like,
whip.
So if I'm
I,
whipped,
I,
You
I
have an
actually
actual
have a whip.
if I'm whipped, then my wife is controlling me.
I see.
Okay.
No, I'm asking in character. Anyway.
Oh.
No, but this is okay.
the character's a machine that doesn't understand human relations.
What is whip? No, anyway. I say,
I go whipped.
yeah.
Whipped. Come on.
I bring up. Actually bring up my whip and crack
Whip,
it in the air.
Okay.
But okay. Wait, this is weird. I'll just say sorry. So Sherwin was not like that before. Or
He hides it well, but yeah,
what about Emmy?
Emmy.
Has she always been like that?
She's a little weird, but she's taken over. I respect strong females. And he like
We-
nods over the orc female on his side.
Good for you, madam.
The orc female who is getting a little closer to you.
Yeah.
Just sort of inching towards
I think I shipped this.
So Mordok, he lifts his hat to. Mordok lifts his hat to show he's not human to the orc, and asks, "Did we ask when the change started happening?" So he's like,
Lubok
"So
said
when-
that
when-
around a month. He went to
Okay.
the mainland, and then when he left for the mainland, the wait staff were still normal, and then when he came back,
They're
They were-
Maybe we
already
ask
here.
about how their business
When you
is.
show your horn, by the way, the female orc says to Dubok something in orcish, and the entire table laughs, all the orcs. And then Dubok says, she asked me if all humans have handles.
have what?
Handles.
like the
Okay, then out
So
of
I don't.
Out
Yeah, you have a handle.
And I lift my coat and I flop my tail on the table. And I got the tail.
What? What did you say?
And I put my tail on the table.
I was touching. That is new. Have you always had that?
As long as I've known. And so I just wanted to show the orc that I'm not human. And to then identify or to just, but you asked the question I was going to ask, so I don't know how we would move on.
I'll leave you
Yeah,
there just to do a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll go on first to step
Yeah.
see what's happening with Zane.
It's probably the
It has to be.
Or,
It has to
or
be.
maybe Emmy. Maybe Emmy.
We lucked
specifically.
out. We lucked out learning very early on that something wasn't right with the couple, and I like the plan of attack.
On the front.
Yeah,
Zane,
so
Zane
how many minutes has passed?
let's
Like,
just
since
assume
I
that
got
we pick up.
My,
Let's just assume that we pick up
my
right
gut
at
tells
that
me
point.
it's.
Only about 10 minutes.
Okay, sure.
You still have like 50 minutes on your
My gut
shoulders.
is
Ah,
Emmy.
so I
And
still
it
got-
seems like
Emmy.
she's
Yeah.
passed out.
Because
I
she
still got lots of
supposedly
time, so
Sherwin
I'm gonna ask him. I know. I'm gonna tell him. I'm Stefan.
Meanwhile,
I asked Zane.
so Zane,
You're asking him
Yeah.
what?
No, I'm not asking. I'm just. Sorry. I told him I'm Stefan.
Yeah, I know. You introduce yourself at the beginning.
I'm Stefan.
Good for you.
Well, what's your name?
I think I said this already. Zane. Zane's my name.
So a random question.
I think I know where this is going.
What can you say about the world that we live in?
You mean how they like make you repress your feelings or something?
wait, what?
Is this gonna be weird?
I'm weird.
Oh, good. I think.
Well, are you drunk?
Cornelia, I think you should wake up. It's getting really, really awkward in here.
It's just sleeping already.
Cornelia wakes up just long enough to take a boot off and throw it at your bed.
Okay.
She's like, shut up!
And then she started cold again.
Well, no, not necessarily. You can see that she's tossing.
She's browning out.
Yeah. What is your objective? What are you trying to do?
Wait, update me.
Trying to know about something about resistance.
You're trying to gauge Zane's opinion on the resistance.
Yeah.
On the resistance or on
Like
the resistance?
on the resistance.
Okay. Go ahead.
Do you
and
have any? Oh,
Yes.
sorry. I didn't-
Go ahead and make a persuasion check at a disadvantage because you're drunk.
And what's your deception? Do you have or intimidation?
Yeah. Intimidation and +1.
Plus how many?
5.
Oh, maybe you can. Are we allowed to help people? Like talk things
Sure,
through?
I'll say right now. Sure, go ahead.
I mean,
you guys are on mute.
but
You guys are on
normally, can you? Can you? You can't tell
Normally,
somebody.
when you're not in the same room, you try to like leave off their
Oh,
scene.
okay.
I'll let them have their scene.
Okay, well then
Essentially.
I won't say anything then. That's what I want to know. I want to know how you actually.
10. What is it? What is
This is disadvantage. Yeah.
so 4
4
plus
plus
disadvantage of what?
Charisma?
Charisma?
persuasion.
Persuasion. By
9.
9 total. Okay. He just feeds you sort of this non-committal. Well, you know, I mean, there's no choice. We have to join the resistance. It doesn't seem honest, but at the same time, it just seems like he's just trying to say something to shut you up. Nothing particularly insightful from what he's saying.
Okay, since I have a lot of time, I think I'm going to rest for a bit so I can like Stefan is a bit still drunky and he can't think of anything yet, so he wants to take a nap because his objective to now is he wants to make Zane sleep now too.
Okay, you're gonna try to wait them out and try to wait till they both fall asleep.
Uh-huh.
After which point, what will you do?
Well, after that, I
When
can't.
when they both fall asleep, what are you doing?
I need to escape because Cornelia will find out that I charmed her.
Okay. All right. So your goal at this point is just to escape.
Yeah.
All right. We'll move on to Grail and Harper.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Grail and Harper in the office. small office, maybe about 15 by 15 feet.
Oh, that's
A desk fills most of it. Papers all over it. There is a stack, there's a shelf on the back, at which point there are ledgers, thick ledgers, just sort of filling the entire place. You can see that while things are generally in their place, it's a far cry from organized, definitely. You can see that there is a portrait, a family portrait of both Emmy and Sherwin. And there is a window that overlooks the bay.
oh, okay.
Anybody else?
There.
I nod. Harper will nod to Grail. I say, let's check before we touch. I guess.
Wait, there's a grail?
No, sure.
Grail is his name.
Oh, no, sorry. Okay. So there's just papers in there?
Still gotta find out.
Okay. All right. So you're checking out. the room.
I described the room already.
Okay,
So
cool.
What you see is what you get.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast detect magic on the room.
Oh, good, you have it.
The spell is a ritual.
What happened with Zane? What happened with Zane?
You cast detect magic.
I tried to fake sleep
Okay.
because I asked him and
What are you gonna
I
say?
failed like my objective
Okay.
to know something about, and then I
Okay.
failed.
You
I tried to
find
fake
that
sleep
there
so
is a
that they
subtle
will
transmutation magic
I hope they will fall
Emanating.
asleep, both of them.
And then you
because I
can
need to.
peek.
No, I need
underneath
I need to escape.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
However, I've only got 1 hour.
Oh yeah, and then she
Oh,
can.
like, throw
Oh
the-
yeah.
Below.
Hopefully she's knocked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can imagine
Nice,
the desk is covered on the
What
front
did you
part.
ask Zane if
Basically,
you
like covered
It-
so it is
it-
underneath,
Like,
from the
it's
side
a
of
bit
the person
suspicious
sitting at the
about
desk.
me asking random things.
you didn't ask.
Yeah, I didn't ask
Okay.
them yet
So
about
you
their
just think.
existence.
Okay. You didn't
I
ask.
just only asked if how can he describe like the world that we're living.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You come around, you circle around, and then you look down, and you can see that immediately from your position at the seat of the person that would be sitting at the desk, you can see 2 safes. One is underneath the desk, one is behind the chair.
One is underneath this. How big?
No larger.
What is the
than
goblin doing?
this.
Wandering around, I think.
Yeah, where's the goblin?
Where's the
The goblin left them at
Yeah.
the door and is now. I think it's just.
Sorry,
you know,
I'll just cover this
Wandering
one
around.
so that we can all be over here. Since nobody is on the second floor other than these two and they're inside of a closed room, nobody knows what a goblin is.
Okay.
okay.
Oh, you're on the second floor, but you're in a closed room too.
Yeah, I can.
So even you can't see where the goblin is.
Oh no.
Where is the magic emanating exactly?
It's emanating from the safe underneath the table.
Oh, okay.
Knew it.
Getting there.
Oh no, okay. Alright. And how's the lock contraption?
You can see that it's a key.
Key. Key type. Okay. Are you willing to search for the key in the office? Or can you try?
Check out the door first to see if it works.
You crack the door open?
Is the door currently open?
No, it's closed.
I just want to see if anyone's outside.
You crack the door open. You see that Crowell is about 10 feet off. He's got his feet dangling off again, and he's
Oh.
Cute.
No socks. No socks. It's not green. Pa, additional water. Water.
10 feet. How
Yeah.
far away is it from
10 feet. 10 feet away.
10 feet from the door.
Does the lock look complicated?
No,
Is it an advanced looking or
no, it's simple. It's pretty simple. There's a key, you stick it in, you open it.
how are we going to steal the safe?
If you try to open the safe.
Do have any skills to pick crack safes? I currently don't. Do you have a pick lock? Do you have anything to pick locks?
Grail. If you so desire, you could try to break the lock by shooting. That would be pretty loud, but it might be effective.
Can you play your instrument again?
That'll be a gunshot. If you want.
I can't let off the gun.
Okay. Number 2.
I'm undercover.
You also saw, earlier when Crowley let you in, he had a large ring of keys.
Yeah.
There were over a dozen on there, and they're seemingly identical, so might be a little hard, but you can try that.
You gonna shoot the goblin?
Oh no! Don't
We're in the office already.
Abduct the goblin?
Alternatively, do either of you have lockpicking tools?
None of us are rogues or
And thus, the usefulness of rogues is evident.
I remove silence.
We can use your horns.
Oh, it's not.
We can use your
We
horns.
can use his horns to pick the lock.
Use my tail.
Yes, silence. She could have cast silence and allowed you to shoot without making noise. But she didn't prepare. Yeah.
Kakatanggal ko lang kanina.
Sayang.
Let's figure it out.
What are your spells?
You cure wounds.
Get shade to pick the lock.
Yes!
I
Get
was
the
having
wolf
to think
cup.
about that.
Okay, help.
But then, if it's going to create noise, we're going to have to see
Oh, it's a wolf. You're stealthy. Oh, I don't know.
I'm going to let Shade out and watch the door for us to see if Kevin's going to come here.
That's so cute. He's gonna get
Okay.
She's gonna get distracted with mice or something.
Do
Shade.
goblins eat little
Shade
dogs?
dutifully
Oh.
sits
It's
at
a wolf
at the
pup, but
door.
yeah, still small. Oh my god.
Okay, tell me
What-
what you
what?
want to do.
Wait, what?
Think on it. I will use that.
You guys can be.
There's magic coming from the.
Okay, so
What? There's magic coming
so
from the
there's
safe?
2 safes.
What kind of magic? What the school? Okay. Yeah, book is here.
The one underneath the table.
One safe underneath the table is gleaming with some sort of magical transportation, so it's highly suspect. So we want to open that safe, but not draw attention from below or anything.
Do any of you have like an intimidation, high intimidation, or
I got high intimidation, but I'm drunk.
yeah, I have high intimidation, but I'm on the ground. But
And you
maybe we
don't know
can,
what's happening.
if you leave the door, you can see me, but you can't talk to me. I think you're on your own.
Let me just pause this for a second. I gotta ask you guys. So it is currently 12. They're gonna be closing on us in like half an hour. My question is, will you want to speed this to a conclusion, or do you want to move somewhere else?
Are any of you on curfew?
I'm not on a curfew, so I would finish it out. Where would we go?
Yeah, where would we go?
First, I just want to ask: Are you on for keep going?
I'm on.
Keep going.
Yeah, I'm on.
Okay, so let's just move. And keep
I
going.
don't save games, but
Unfortunately, because of the way West Mortars works, is if you don't finish and then we reach the end, it's just failure. Basically, we consider it that you were unable to find the person.
Shit, no.
take it too long. Do you want to move to Starbucks a little?
There's also UCC.
UCC, that's
until,
right.
Until what time is it?
Well, you
Di ba
guys
2 a.m.?
Yeah, I know that they're up late.
Okay. You can always go to my apartment, which is a little bit that way. I do have a child who's sleeping, so it can't be loud, but
It's gonna be really loud in Zane's room. Zane takes his shirt
Oh
off.
my god, he's
drags an
probably
arm over
so
you.
fit under no.
We tried right under the blanket.
you play with the blanket.
But I was just waiting for someone to come out.
So what
Quick,
are we
Zane,
gonna
hide with me under the blanket.
Are we gonna go somewhere else?
Yeah, we're going.
Okay.
So what are you gonna do up there? You can't shoot it. Why can't you shoot it?
This is my
It's gonna make
second kid.
noise.
I think I'm gonna get addicted to
But what attention is it really gonna draw? Are we trying to be stealthy at this point?
Yeah.
Gets people addicted.
There's also the keys. It's attached to the goblin.
I can't
How
do anything.
attached to the goblin are you? Is the question. Are you willing to take the? Are we gonna knock the goblin out and take the keys? Are you gonna?
That's an option. That's an option.
We
Can you
can.
send Shade the dog to go get the keys off of the
I feel
goblin?
bad for Stefan.
What if like makes Shade playful with the goblins and you're like, no Shade, and you're like just gonna grab the
That could work.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like,
Sleight of hand.
parang guguluhin, sorry.
and I'm just gonna say I'm
Using
so
the
sorry.
wolf.
Yeah, the wolf. Shade's gonna kukulitin niya yung
Yeah.
kukulitin niya yung goblin and then
Shade.
you can nick the
Shade. Like nine Shade, yeah.
Take our chances to see if we'll be interested in playing with everybody and be distracted.
Yeah.
I'm not, this is
Crow
not
is gonna try to be cute and not edible. Oh no, Shade's gonna try to be cute.
Shade's just gonna try to be a distraction.
Playful. Playful.
And then, like, okay, so Ray would be like, no, Shade, just come back here.
I'm gonna try to pick the keys up.
Bother the good man. Right? While Shade's running around in circles, Ray's gonna try to catch him and maybe, like, nick the jackal keys from.
Okay. Alright. Shade can go ahead and make a performance check. Don't add anything.
oh my god.
Just a d20.
Interesting.
Performance? What's that, a wolf stat? Wolf stats?
Shade's first roll is distracted goblin.
Aww.
17.
Yeah. Okay. Shade just runs around, and at first he's got like the cat smile, and then sees Shade, and eyes wide open, and then a smile comes on his face, and drool begins to.
Oh my god, he was.
He's gonna eat the. I knew it. You can't trust the
Come in,
goblin.
pour down his face,
shoot the goblin.
and he begins to try and chase Shade. However, you were on standby. You were intending to like interrupt, so you do. You come in. Obviously, Crow had other intentions than playing, but you intervene.
Oh no!
Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check. Add an advantage because Shade is.
Oh my god, goblins eat wolf cubs. Oh, well, I guess
Obviously,
they were.
fucking things like that.
I guess goblins eat anything. Come on, man. Come on, man. 18.
Yeah. Shades, stop. And then you're separating the two of them, and your hand just goes down to the waist, and then into the pocket as you pick up Shade, and you like bring her back into the office, and you close the door, and you juggle the keys.
Yeah, I still take the time to apologize. I'm really sorry. I just smuggled him in.
Okay. You can see that his wide eyes come back down into Chicky, and then he just
Who's this? The
roll. So, and then he turns back around and sticks his feet through the bars. And then
he's cute when he's not hungry.
You can see Emmy again.
He's good with me.
He's
Hungry.
not
you
hungry.
come into the room, you're holding about, use each of the keys one by one on the lock. Got it. Which are you trying for first?
The bright, shining, shimmering one.
Okay. Go for that one. I'd say let's go ahead and make a percentile roll. D100.
Just to make our chances higher, we will split the keys. I will try my half of the keys on the other side. Anything that doesn't fit, I will just reach
Okay, sure. Go ahead. Both of you go ahead and make D100 rolls.
And what if none of your questions? Just switch rolls?
This percentile roll is just to see how long it takes until you find the correct one. Because you're just testing them at random. Going through it.
This is D100.
80.
80.
What's the other one?
The one's digit.
D10? 88.
Just zero.
Yeah.
What you get?
There's a 0 and then a 40. Did I?
40. So it's 40 flat. Alright. Seems like yours is not in any of the hats that you get. But he does find it. Sorry. She does find it. As Grail finally comes upon the key. Click. And it gently swings open.
That's the shining phone, right?
Well, only Harper sees that. Because right now, basically when she casts detect magic, the world becomes muted colors as the vibrance seeps from it. And the only things of true color that she can see are things of magic. Magical effects, magical items, even people affected by magic. So theoretically, if you were with them in their room, you would see that
There are like 3 people on
Yeah.
top of me.
you would see that.
There's
And
also magic between Zane
Oh no.
there's magic between Zane and Stefan, but a different kind.
A different kind
Romantic magic. Not necromantic magic. Romantic.
Didn't say it.
or neck.
What's in it?
What is shining inside?
What's in the box? What's in the box?
As the safe opens,
Socks. It's Dobie's socks.
we keep interrupting me. I'm going to skip over to the next person. So, the safe opens, and then you begin. You see a bowl, a golden bowl, and a golden flask. Each with writing that you do not understand. Inside, also, you see several pictures. You see painted portraits about a hand's span in length only. So just something you can hold. Painted portraits of Adeline, Kristen, Buford.
Oh,
They're replaced or something.
those are the emotions.
Those are the
those are the
robot weight stuff.
Yeah.
But how does that tie into
Yeah,
anyone
exactly.
giving secrets to?
Yeah, how does
What's a flask and a bowl?
A golden flask and a golden bowl, seemingly made up of the same materials.
And then there are paintings in.
There are basically portable portraits.
Portable portraits where?
Also, just at the back, stuff at the very back. You also see a knife, a very, very small but sharp knife. Maybe no longer than a quill or a pencil. But it's very sharp.
Strange. Which one was glowing? With detect magic.
You can see that the bowl, the flask, and the knife are all glowing.
Adeline, Buford, and Christine?
Yeah.
Kristen.
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 All transmutation, everything is.
So those are the 3 weird weight stuff.
Meaning, likely that the items are enchanted.
Yeah.
And what?
Now, there's a separate spell called Identify Magic. That would tell you what they do. But Detect Magic just tells you that they're magic.
Oh, so that's it.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm already
Help! No!
But why does she?
I'll suggest to
Grail.
Grail.
Well,
I'm
the
gonna
only thing I can
suggest,
think of is
when
it
we
was their
get all of them.
business. Maybe if it's just to keep their
It's gonna
business
take all
afloat.
of them.
That's how they're getting
You have to
ingredients in.
contain them very well. And might I suggest we bring the keys with us? Because Cromwell is still dangling from the banisters, right?
Yeah.
We just drop the keys behind him.
What if you find the...
Okay, so basically you're taking the stuff and you're leaving.
Taking all the stuff from the safes, and leaving, and then you're gonna drop
Yeah.
the keys
From
inside
both
the room.
safes. Okay.
So
There's
no,
two
only one
safes?
safe.
There's 2 safes. You've only opened one.
What's with the other one? Oh no.
We have to open the
What if
other
there's something crazy in the other safe?
one. And the other safe. Oh my god.
Well, we could roll D100 again and try to crack that. Alright.
It's gonna take you a little more time.
Oh.
So right now, you've spent 10 minutes in this office.
What's happening on the
30
first floor? Well,
You have no idea.
Yeah.
you can't tell us
You wanna walk out?
who's still on the first floor though. Like,
Who's on the first floor?
yeah,
It's just
You also don't know.
on the team.
As far as you know.
There's a window. There's a window
Facing the outside.
facing the side.
You can see that it's, late afternoon sun. About 5
We're
o'clock maybe.
already pretty inches deep, so we might as well crack the other safe.
Totally.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
We're gonna go for it.
Just while we're like trying to be alert if someone is going inside.
Mordok, you see Emily
Gonna have Shade guard the door.
begin to make for
Oh
the
my
stairs.
gosh. Yeah.
I see Emily going up the stairs.
Yeah, we can make sure.
Okay, well then I need to do a something to get her. I put on a performance again because she was I thought she was mildly
Yep.
into it at the beginning. So I have a performance and I say okay, and I stand on the table of the orcs because now we're buddies. Okay. So I stand on the table.
Indeed, that is also what I did earlier.
Okay, so all right.
I'm just
so
gonna support
you're
you.
on the table. I'm on the table now,
That's my
and
friend.
so I see Emmy going up, and I know my buddies are up there, so something's gonna happen. So I get on the table, and my tail is out, and I use my therma. How do you say it, therma?
Thaumaturgy.
Okay, and I have my loud booming voice saying, "All right, it's showtime," and hoping to attract the attention of Emmy before she goes up. And I try and pull
You
Emmy
want
in.
to dedicate the performance to her?
Yes, Emmy, come in here. Look, you wanted me to do it. Here we go. I'm putting on a show to try and draw her away
She
from
said
the
so yourself. Oh, you should put up a
You're
performance.
speaking at the top of your voice, your booming
I'm
voice
booming.
just goes
Yes,
everywhere.
yes.
You hear this from the top floor, from the second floor, the two of you.
I go, Emmy, don't go up the stairs.
Stefan, you're stumbling drunk out of Cornelia's room. You're sort of leaning on a banister, just trying to make your way through. You glance from your position right here. You can look right across the hall, across the opening, seeing that Grail is just sort of peeking out the door inside of that office. And at the same time, from your vantage point, you can see Emily begin to climb up this area, and you
So
can
it didn't stop.
and you hear Mordok shout out, "Don't go up the stairs!"
What will I do?
What would you like to do?
I already used that.
By the way, you're not entirely sure when you lost it, but you're missing your shirt.
Oh,
Like,
Is it just the vest now?
Yeah.
No.
just the best.
No inner shirt.
Oh, what will I do?
pristine, noble chest.
Hairless. Completely hairless.
Can I see Stefan?
No, he's at the top of the stairs right
Okay,
here.
so I can't see. So I can't tell you to do something.
You're at the top of the stairs. You have this opportunity now because you're directly in Emily's way.
What spells do you have?
Well,
Or did you spend spells not so
already jump person. Minor illusion,
Yeah, one more.
but I don't know what.
Okay. Because this is a high pressure
Can
moment,
you distract her, or can
I'm
you?
gonna give you 60 seconds to come up with something.
Can I copy like a voice of someone using minor illusion?
You can. What do you want to do?
Oh well, I kind of want to distract her. Like, what's the other guy's name? Sherwin. Like calling her.
Okay.
I'm gonna use that minor illusion.
And
as
what is
sound.
Sherwin gonna say?
Like, Sherwin. Wait. Emmy,
Sherwin,
come
say,
here. Sherwin. I'm Sherwin. Emmy, come here. We need to do something.
Okay.
Come over, rush.
Okay. Go ahead and make a deception.
Okay.
Plus.
Not
Five,
bad, not bad.
21.
Okay, not bad. Yeah, so she turns around immediately. Are you gonna come back downstairs? No,
Yeah.
you're gonna stop.
I'm gonna go downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you. Now, this is the weird thing. You're entirely aware of what you're trying to do. Though you're pretending to party, both of you are aware. And then you hear Sherwin's voice spring out of a point in space, out of nowhere, essentially, just calling Emmy. And she turns to the sound and is a little weirded out by it. Like, that's a little creepy. But here's you. You begin to sort of rile the crowd to sort of get her in on your performance, right? Go ahead and make a performance.
So Sherman he used his voice. Is Sherman a warlock?
Sherwin.
Is he using, he was just loud? It wasn't a spell. Or we
Sherwin.
don't know.
Yeah, Sherwin.
Well, Sherwin's voice seemed to have sprung from nowhere.
Yeah.
You look across the room to where Sherwin's actually standing. He wasn't even aware of it.
Did we see Stefan cast it?
At this
No.
point, you see Stefan stumble down the stairs.
Did you try and be Sherwin?
Yeah.
That's the voice.
Like,
oh,
yeah,
okay,
it's
okay, okay. I didn't
gold
know his
minor
voice.
illusion.
He was throwing
Maybe we
Sherwin's
can-
voice.
yeah.
Alright, so I'm putting
basically.
on a performance. Come on. 13 plus 3, 16.
16. Okay, yeah. She says, yeah, go ahead. And she invites you to go up the stage. But you can see that she's sort of hesitant. She is standing close to the stairs, like she's sort of edging her way back to try and to disengage herself at the earliest opportunity. But she's staying to be polite, to get everyone up on, to get the bar in
Yeah,
on it.
what are you doing? Are you, a magic trick?
Yeah, I'm just putting on a performance of, we haven't even done it. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Putting some magic tricks and being just
Okay.
putting on a show.
I have a question.
Like the greatest showman. So
Yeah. Emmy is the amiable one, or
Yeah.
when she's bussing tables and stuff. In that case, I'm gonna try to assist. I'm gonna try to help Mordok, and I'm going to stand up and walk stiffly towards Emmy, and then I'll try to play music again, and then I'll say something like I'll say something like, Madam, if you will put up quite a show. Would you since something like would the tavern proprietor do us the honors of perhaps showing us the dance of her homeland, and he's going to try to
Show us the dance of your people.
show us the dance of your people.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna try to time the music to his to his trick.
So you're asking her to dance to his magic trick?
No, I'm also playing music.
Okay.
playing music and I'm doing sleight of hand.
Okay. The two of you can go ahead and you can either make a group performance check or you can assist someone. So basically, either both of you roll or one of you rolls twice.
What would you like to do?
Because either way, what is it?
Performance.
My performance is a -1. It's
Your
my
performance
worst.
is mine.
It's my worst
Okay, so
stat.
mine's 3, so I'll roll twice.
Yeah.
then.
So basically, I'll just we prefer to.
Oh, 4.
4.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have advantage.
Advantage.
Okay. 14. I do have an inspiration. We can do one more. We can use it.
If you so desire.
I mean, it feels like this is a turning point.
That's true, because she's coming up to say, or do you want to save it? But up to.
I mean,
wanna prevent her from-
according to my character, saving something isn't something
Okay,
they would do.
let's go for it.
So my character would do it, and it's 5.
No.
So what was it, 14, I think?
14.
14.
Well, we can settle the bill first.
Yeah, that's
Sure, sure.
Pause here.
Where are you moving? UCC?
UCC.
Alright.
Paid for the nachos already?
Yes. Plus,